intro. And today I have sound on the intro. Because the last time I was trying to remove the sound from the reel of the other guys because one of them had some, I think it was copyrighted music. So we had issues because YouTube and Facebook, they will cut.
Oh. Even if it's live.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Hello. How's it going, everybody? Carlos Conceicao here with Jazz and our friends that I will introduce to you in a second. Welcome to episode number 2 or episode number, I don't know, 14 or whatever of this RTC Live Show. This is the second episode of this new series. Again, back in Portugal. I think I've done this in several countries already. Nice. But the best ones were done here at my place. Fortunately, that I have a space here that I can bring guests. All right. Thank you very much for the support. The last video that I did with Amaro and Danielle had 1,600 views, and we had like an average of 25 people watching this and staying with us until the very end. So thank you so much for staying with us and enjoying the talk. That's the idea of this show, is just to inspire you guys to dedicate to digital arts, either visual effects, film, whatever. This is what we're trying to preach here. Without further ado, let me introduce you to the guests that I have here today. I think we have a curious story, like how we met. But first of all, let me introduce you. So I have here Henrique Gandum and Duarte Gandum, the brothers Gandum, super talented dudes that I invited today. And do you remember when we met?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yeah?
yes.
It was at Comic-Con 2018.
2018?
Yes, 2018.
2018. Oh,
Yes.
man, it was 2018.
2 years ago, yes. You were presenting with Flip Melo the short sleepwalk.
The amazing.
Ah, it
show.
was during the sleepwalk one.
Yes.
It was the first time we saw the short, and we loved it. It's very high quality, technically,
Yes.
storytelling. It's amazing.
Incredible.
We had the comic when
We
it
had
first
the
came
book.
out. Yes.
And I remember by the very end, there was two young guys that came to me and was like, "Oh, can we show you something? Like we have our I think it was a trailer."
We spoke the
Yes.
same language, basically. You were
Yeah.
into VFX, and I was working in VFX as well. So it was amazing because I was really blown away by the amount of detail and the work in compositing and everything. Because it's what I do mainly, it's compositing, and I was really inspired, and I knew I have to talk to this guy.
yes. I remember that perfectly. I remember that.
Oh man, that was super fun. One
Yes.
thing that I am not used, because I have zero of celebrity. It was the audience coming to us and speaking with us. This happened the first time in Comic-Con in Porto. It was 2017 that I went there to present a talk as well.
We were also.
You were there as
We
well?
were there.
Yes.
We were,
You were there?
we
Yes,
were
the
there
first year,
One,
the first
one,
year.
one day only, but
Yes.
we were there. Yeah.
To present the first.
The first
of
book.
our book.
The first book.
Yes.
Nice. And when I went there, I was freaking out because by the end of the talk that I was giving, after an hour or an hour and a half, a lot of people came to me and said like, "Oh, can I have your signature?" And I'm like, "Why would you like my signature?" It's like, I'm a nobody. You can ask for signatures for this important people. It's like I'm just an artist. Just don't worry. But yeah, people wanted to talk, and
Yes.
and I was like, wow, this is very interesting. And a few people wanted to actually show something. It's like, oh, okay, that's more interesting. So the second year when I saw you guys, that was kind of the feeling. I was like, first there was like a lot of confusion, but it caught my eye that you guys wanted to show some work, and that was very interesting. I think you guys were with the customs
Yes.
from your movie,
Yes,
right?
I think I was.
Maybe with this.
With a hat, with a colonial hat, and probably the boots also.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the
The
And-
shirt.
And the pants.
The pants.
The shirt I don't remember. I think I wore this same shirt that I am here today.
Oh yeah. That was right.
Yes.
Oh man, I wish I had pictures. I wish I had pictures, man.
We have some on our Instagram, but
It was-
not from that moment,
Yes.
sadly.
We were doing a presentation with FNAC the previous day,
Mm.
and we had the weekend pass, and we said to ourselves,
Oh,
yes,
nice.
we're gonna.
Let's not waste this
Yes,
opportunity.
we have to go. We went, and basically in the second day, when we met you, it was absolutely amazing. Maybe we made more connections that day
Yes, we were free roaming, I guess.
Yeah, a bit. We found some friends and some old friends and made some new friends. It was pretty cool.
Oh, it was nice.
We bought some merch as well, and you know, just the stuff.
I remember
people do
the kids, mostly the kids. They were coming to ask us why the hat.
Yeah.
Why the hat? They were curious.
What kind
they
of
didn't.
anime or movie or?
Yes, it was something like that.
That was my question when I saw you guys. Well, I think we are in Comic Con, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everything goes. But you guys had something in mind, and I was like, I was curious to say like, well, why are these guys like this? Like they're showing me compositing and visual effects work, and then they are like in costume. It's like this is weird. So I went to check your Facebook and started following your work, and I found a ton of things that you guys do. And I would like you guys to just to show us what you guys do. So I know that Duarte is a visual effects artist and a director, studied video,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Something like that?
So yeah, video in general. So we did a little bit of everything, and not something very specific. So people could.
Where was it?
Escola Profissional de Imagem, ou seja,
Ethic.
Professional School of Image.
Yes.
And it was in Cais de Sodré in Lisbon, and
From the Ethic group.
Ah,
yes,
okay.
yes. Yes,
I know.
it's part of Ethic. And yeah, I studied video there. We made a few short films, and I decided that I wanted to follow visual effects. So that's basically what I did. And since I was 17, now I'm 22. I've been working professionally, so started.
No breaks, man. No, no breaks.
It's been kind of crazy, but here I am.
Yes, it's true. I can confirm it.
Wow. What about you, Henrique?
Well,
what do you do?
I'm a freelance illustrator. I do everything surrounding illustration in general. Right now, I'm basically illustrating. This year, I have done already some comic work for various publishers. Not our publishers, but we'll get to that in a second. Other publishers, yes, made two comics, around 10 pages each. Not much, but a lot of work. And I sometimes work in Push, also the company where my brother works. Sometimes freelance work. And
Cool.
Most of the time, I am really
Crunch time, right? When
Yeah.
when things get crazy.
Yes. And most of the time, I'm really drawing for various other clients.
Do you do commissions and like
Yes,
like
I do
private
commissions.
work and stuff?
Yes, not it's not my main work, commissions, but I do when I have the time. I actually do, and I also have to join all this the exotic animals, the breeding exotic animals, which is nothing like drawing. Nothing like drawing. It's the exact opposite.
Oh, man.
People sometimes say these two things don't go along with each other. One, we have to use the hands to live. The other one, we can lose a finger. Yes, it's true. Well, I like very much both of them. I was thinking of following biology.
Oh, nice.
Yes, at first, but then the arts got the best of it, basically, and that's it, basically. But of course, maybe the way I interact more with the people is through
drawing.
Congo. Is through Congo, the comic book, basically the comic books, the comic books.
All right.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that, because what you guys did, and I was really impressed with the amount of stuff that you've done alone, pretty much, right? This is all on you.
Yes.
And tell me what is Congo? How did this started in the first place? And what was the progression during time, and why did you follow this and pursue this? And what was the reaction from the people?
Do you want me to?
You can start then.
Okay. Congo was basically.
It's a long story.
It's kind of a long story.
It goes
Yes.
back almost 5 years now.
5 years, more
Almost.
than 5 years,
Wow.
more,
2015.
more.
Wow.
Yes, it's over 5 years.
Crazy.
Yes. So I had this project. I was the Walking Dead fan at the time. Still am. But at the time it was the zombie craze, and I wanted to do something zombie related. So I ended up doing something zombie related for schoolwork. I was finishing school. Also in the same school, we studied in the same school.
Mhm.
I studied animation, and I was doing something like that. But then I had another project after the final project, so it wasn't the final project after all, which involved the dinosaurs. And I was starting to think, I love dinosaurs since I was a kid. I wanted to make a story about dinosaurs. I don't know what will be the background. I just know I want dinosaurs.
You know, my kid is obsessed with dinosaurs.
Yeah, nice,
He's just
nice.
turned 3 years old, and I'm going to invite you guys to go to see his room. And with
Cool.
3 years old, he can distinguish like 50 different dinosaurs.
Wow, that's amazing.
And he has like a
Crazy.
huge collection. We've been like growing the collection, and I ended up knowing a lot of dinosaurs and story about dinosaurs because of him.
It's very fascinating.
It's crazy.
amazing.
Henrique, he started very early learning.
I
this
loved
stuff.
at 3 years old. I probably was drawing dinosaurs too. I remember this commercial. It was a Shock-a-Pic commercial.
Shock-a-Pic
Yes,
commercial.
I was in vacations at the time, and there was a Shock-a-Pic commercial with a dinosaur. It was the best thing I had ever seen at that age. And I started to draw dinosaurs, and then it stuck with me till today. I'm 24 now, and I love dinosaurs just as much, or maybe even more, than I loved 10, 15 years ago. It just stuck with me.
So it started with this love for dinosaurs.
Yes,
So and-
absolutely.
So how did it happen? Did you start writing the story? Did you start drawing something?
I had a problem with the story. I'm more of an illustrator than a writer, but my brother here also has this talent. One more is pretty good at writing. One shall say. So I didn't know how to start the story. I had the characters. I had how I wanted things to go in the first part of the history of the story. I know it was a story about
Our
that time
discoveries,
in
right? Discoveries and
expeditions
yeah.
and adventure and something like that. Very Indiana Jones. Very
Yeah.
yes. I wanted to do something like that. But even earlier, when even the
It's
sorry.
This is the problem. We've been
Yes.
speaking Portuguese
Yes,
for a few minutes, and then we suddenly switched to English.
yes. I'm sorry.
It's
sorry.
fine. It's
Gets
fine.
better with time. I guess.
Yes.
Or gets worse.
It
Believe
gets
me.
worse.
Gets way worse.
Alright.
Let's go. Let's find out.
After a few years out, I have a lot of issues with speaking Portuguese, and sometimes there's a lot of foreign
Mix.
words that I mix, and it's
Yes.
weird. It's weird.
Yes, I can understand. So basically, to resume all this, I had the story, I had the characters, but I didn't know how to start. I wanted to start the best way possible, and my brother had this. At the time, it was a genius idea. Let's start in
I
the
don't
action.
even remember having that idea, but
But you had.
he then remembered me that I had that idea,
that
and
was
then I
true.
remembered.
That was true. We wanted to start writing the action. We could go through a more lost world
Yes,
kind of.
I mean, so the story starts right there, right in Congo. So you already know they're there. But yes, it's what Henrique is saying. We could have like shown they're preparing for the journey and all of
Yes.
that. But we decided that we wanted to start right there in the action, and we didn't need to show them in Lisbon
Preparing the
preparing
expedition.
Yep.
Yes,
for-
we didn't
for
want
the
that. We
expedition.
wanted to show dinosaurs right away.
Right away.
Right away.
Well, that's George Lucas style. If you have
Yes.
one shot in your life, you need to go right into action,
Right.
and then you write the prequels.
So the first scene had to be what Congo is about, and
Yes.
we think we captured that quite nicely, I guess,
Yes.
because we also made a video on it. It's on our YouTube, but we'll see the breakdown in a few minutes. So,
So I have here the book.
Yeah.
As
The
you can show.
second volume.
This is the second volume, right? So you've done the first one,
Yes.
and the
yes.
first one was published by you.
Yes, so it's an amazing story. After I had illustrated it all, and we wrote, but many things, as well as this second volume was the same. Many things were abandoned. Many ideas.
Mhm.
The Congo story was absolutely different, and it came out different, but I think it came out better. And
Yeah.
so we didn't know we weren't in the game. We weren't in the game, so we didn't know anything about publishers. We didn't know anything about books. We had a book. We wanted to be published, and we wanted to
How
make
to start, right? How to start.
that's
This is the fascinating bit.
Yes.
It's like how do you start this? Because for me, it's so complex just to
Yes.
do this without any help, without any knowledge, right? If you have
Yes.
already a publisher behind you, that would be easier because people that know
Yes.
what they're doing, they could help. But first of all, you need to prove yourselves, right?
Yes.
So that was the first thing. First, you need to prove. So
Yes.
how
It
did that
was-
happen?
It was amazing. The reception was unexpected. Really, we pretty much published it for ourselves.
Yeah,
It
we
was-
didn't really know what to do with it, so we thought maybe we can sell this on our own, and eventually,
It was maybe 200 copies
Yeah.
at most, and it was not much. But for us, it was an absolute nightmare. We didn't know how we're gonna sell it. Nobody knows
how
this.
to print it and how to
Yes.
how to show
To
it to
print
the
it,
world.
it wasn't that hard. We knew we didn't want to go at the time with a publisher because number one, we didn't have much time. We wanted to go to Comic-Con,
Mhm.
and we did. So good, and we wanted to make things go faster. So we wanted it ready right away because the book was done by August, and there was many months. We were just
Mhm.
having meetings and all this crazy every
So-
day. Yes,
getting our feet wet, I guess.
yes, yes. And then we somehow managed to publish it for ourselves. We printed it in Porto. The books were actually printed in Spain, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yes.
the graphic was in Porto.
Mhm.
The quality was okay.
It was a
enough.
big investment,
Not
your side?
really, not
No?
really a big.
doable.
Yes.
It was doable.
in
yes,
in
but,
nowadays, if you look at it nowadays, it was perfectly doable. But at the time,
but
maybe it was a little
at
costly.
the
yes.
time it was we were looking at it a bit as a risk, so but we thought that was the most maybe economic option, so
Yes.
we decided to dive into the
Head first.
head first into the pool, the deepest
The empty pool.
Yes.
The deepest part
the
of the
deepest
empty pool.
waters.
Yes.
So it
Do you-
was crazy. Maybe we wouldn't have done it that way, but it kind of worked
It
out.
It was
has to
crazy.
start, right? It has to
Yes.
start somewhere. Can I show some pictures?
Yes,
From
Yes,
the book.
yes.
So let me share here.
Some pictures I think I sent you are not book related, but it's okay, no problem. that's the
The main poster.
yes. So
Okay,
that's
so
the cryptids. The cryptids are these dinosaurs who we don't really call them dinosaurs. We call them cryptids because Congo has a very rich cryptid backstory to it. Ever since the first Europeans started arriving, they described these animals. Of course, now we know they were probably just a big crocodile or rhinoceros, but at the time it was like a brontosaurus or something like that. So it's fascinating to see these stories written by the Portuguese and the European colonizers at the time, and we can imagine everything. It's just amazing, and the cryptozoology, this pseudoscience that studies these animals. It's not just in the Congo, is throughout the entire world, but the Congo has the most cryptids, I think, and
Wow.
most of them are like dinosaurs, and that's basically it. That's the dinosaur part, fitting in historical
Period,
Portuguese. Yes, something like that.
see.
At the time, the France and the Belgians, the British, too, were exploring the
Mhm.
Congo's resources, and they too had some fascinating stories. But we opted to go through the Portuguese eye. We thought it would be more would be
Oh, a bit more relatable to us, right?
yes. And basically that's it. We as my brother said, we dived head first. Tremendous shock. It sold out everything we had basically in a month.
Wow.
So we needed another edition, a bigger edition.
a bigger edition of the first
Yes,
volume,
yes,
right?
Yes. So one of the first persons one of the first people who bought the book was Bruno Caetano.
Mm-hmm. He writes.
Yes,
your
yes.
Yeah.
He writes a short introduction
Mm-hmm.
about the project. He's been with us since almost day one.
Yes,
Uh,
since we released the book. basically.
Yes, he didn't know us, but he liked what he saw, and helped us all the way to the second volume, which is much bigger, and overall we had more time to make things look nicer and polish some things. And he helped us, and we made a second edition in summer.
How many books were published there?
This was about 800.
Yes.
About
yes.
800, yes. We printed in. We didn't print in Portugal.
Yes,
We-
yes. It was in Poland.
Yes, in Poland, exactly. And the
Being more aware of the global market.
Yes,
trying
yes.
to.
yes. So basically, it was we can say cheaper.
Cheaper
in
According to the quality, right?
Yes.
per unit, but
per unit.
it was a bigger investment.
Of course,
yeah.
of course. But the quality was also far superior. The pages, the finish was amazing.
It was very
And
high-hand.
the second volume still to me it's still amazing, even better than the first
Yes.
in terms of quality, because we really began to understand a little more about the process of printing. We had all these amazing people, Bruno. We had José Freitas also helping us
Yes.
on this journey, and we couldn't probably have done so good without their help too. So thank you. It goes to them as well.
We have a message from José Alex Gandum. Related. I guess is related.
Probably. Yes, it's our father.
Okay. It's always good. Let me. I think I've been publishing here some messages from the guys.
Okay.
We have Amaro Ribeiro that was here. One of my brightest students watching this. He was asking if there's wine today as well. Well, I offered. We have Rafael Santos, another compositor, good friend of mine that is always around watching our lives. We have Compositor and Pedro Andrade. I don't know if you guys know him and know his podcast. Brilliant 2D supervisor. That is doing an amazing show as well.
Nice.
We have Victor Perez, my good friend and legend, Victor Perez. Pijaminga's party. Pijaminga. Do you know where this come from? Victor was here in Portugal, invited by me to be the director of our short movie that we did for my compositing course. I invited him and Adam Batchelor, DOP. And we went to a restaurant, and I wanted them to try the desserts, Portuguese desserts, because it's completely different from anything else. And they didn't know what to choose. So like, well, I don't know what am I going to choose? and the guy that was serving said, okay, let me bring a pijaminha. And we were like, what? What the hell is he talking about? So a pijaminha apparently is a bit of everything. It's a slice of everything.
Wow.
So you can try all the desserts of the house.
Wow.
It's called a pijaminha.
The more you know.
It's called a pajama. So it became a pajama. So Victor is always joking with us about this. Daniel Santos, our other guest from the previous episode, that is watching us as well. And he just came back with me from Malaysia. Did brilliant work there. Rafael Santos, Scott, Richard Anderson, from the Dream Team. This is one of my good friends. He's probably in Vancouver right now. Trying to write in Portuguese,
and we're talking to
trying to
talk English.
And you have your father here just congratulating you from this. And we have still what? We have 14 people watching us. What? I'm always surprised with many people that stay here to listen to us. All right, you were talking about publishing.
Yes.
Do you want to show something in terms of video about what you guys do? Do you wanna help me with
go for it.
Maybe the Congo one breakdown.
the breakdown?
The first, yes.
So
Alright.
that's from 2017. It's one of our early works in this project, and
it was done before the book was ready,
Yes.
which is crazy. Yes.
Wow.
We had this.
But this is the anime? The anime, no, or the breakdown?
We could show the anime as well. I don't know what you want first.
Maybe the animation, yes.
Maybe the animation
the
first, right?
animation, yes.
It
And then
situates the
story
people,
and the
yes,
characters.
Alright.
yes.
That will help everybody to understand. Like they saw the pictures and now they see it. So this is animation, and then it's like moving, just kind of
Yes.
what's it called? Previs?
Yes,
say
it's
that?
basically the
could say,
comic
yes.
motion.
Yeah.
We could say the comic motion of the comic.
Cool.
So it's exactly the same.
The same drawings most of the time. So
yes,
yes.
it's
Alright.
exactly the same.
it was a fun project. Indeed.
Cool. Let's launch it. Let's see if it
Let's go.
works.
Yes.
Frère, elephant.
No, much bigger. Our main goal is to reach the nearest river's mouth. After that, we will have our journey made easy. Keep your eyes wide open.
What killed you, Silvano? Mukelembembe.
Good morning, gentlemen. You seem exhausted.
What do you know of such creatures?
I find out you had anything to do with my brother's death, I'll cut you myself.
They will swallow
Já
their
nos
words.
Tá bem.
All right. Tell me about this.
Okay. Do you want me to talk? I feel like you've been
It's really impressive.
Little quiet.
Okay, I'll talk about this one. So this project started. It was maybe 1-2 months after we published the book. So
1 month. Yes.
yes, we knew we wanted to do an animation, and because we already had the comic book, it was fairly easy to animate some of the stuff. So you have the background and you have the characters, and you had a little bit of movement and change their mouse, and it works for simpler shots. But we've also had some more complex ones where we shot ourselves. So we filmed ourselves running and doing a few
You're doing
actions.
mocap. Wow.
Not exactly.
Almost. Just for reference,
Some
right?
cheap mocap, I guess. And
Then we changed ourselves to this big man with crazy mustaches and big weapons.
that's the magic of it.
Yes.
So Henrique then started going frame by frame, doing what most visual effects artists are familiar with, which is rotoscoping. And
I don't know what you're talking about. I know nothing about that.
I never did it.
Never done that.
And yes, that was basically it. You would draw the characters over us and our friends and everything, and I guess it worked for a few short clips. We used that technique, and we're proud of how it turned out.
Daniel is saying the vibe of this trailer. Wow.
Thank you.
And a good
Thank
friend
you.
Marcos Drayden is writing. Very cool.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
Really.
That was nice. Doing
Yes.
doing a bit of roto for this. I'm
Yes, yes.
surprised.
I like the rotoscopy animation type. It's the one
Very
where
fluid,
yeah.
very
yeah.
yes.
Man, where it starts. It's where I start, and I introduce everybody to visual effects. And usually, sometimes people get a bit offended. It's like, oh yeah, so why are we learning to do roto? So because that's exactly where you start, where you learn photography, where you learn animation, where you learn motion. Everything starts there, and the mentality that you need to go through if you're working in visual effects to go through the steps of your career. You need to go through that step of doing
Yes.
solid roto for a
Yes.
while, because it brings you to a different state of mind.
Yeah. And there are a lot of interesting techniques that I found out in this latest short that we did, using distort to get the hairs or keys with a certain mask in a certain position. It really makes the roto, really gives it another level of quality.
I think there was roto in almost every scene.
There was a lot of roto on this short film.
Yes.
We can't show the short film yet, but we have plenty of breakdowns that
Yes.
you'll be able to watch shortly.
The people will
Nice.
basically see the dinosaurs.
That's good. That's
yes,
good.
that's good. The people want the
Yes.
dinosaurs
Excited.
always.
All right. Do you want to show any another video?
We could show maybe the Congo one breakdowns.
The breakdown,
So we
yes.
start. So we go from
All right. Tell me if
chronological order.
it was the number one, right?
Yes.
yes.
All right. Let's see it.
That one.
By
You
the
can
w-
walk us through this.
By the way, this video is available on our channel, Mudnag. Maybe I'll leave it a link there, or
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
You can write on the chat so everybody can go there.
Right.
Yes.
Maybe I'll do that right now.
Cool.
But first I want to talk about this.
Yeah, tell me.
So this was 2017. I wasn't experienced as I am today, but I'm still very proud of this work because I
It's
think
solid, man.
it was very creative. Like the plants in the background, you don't really notice until you see the breakdowns.
Yeah.
And this was a fun shot also because we managed to connect this shot into another shot, and it made sense. So as you can see, I'm using that tree just to cast the shadow. It's a bit overkill because that is a very heavy tree.
Don't we all love a bit of overkill? If you can afford, why not? Why not?
Yes, but some of those frames were taking almost an hour.
Oh,
That was-
that's fine. That's fine.
but yeah, everything. I think it turned out clean, and as I was saying, so nowadays I would do some things different. Mainly the grain. I'm now very.
You're doing it right now.
I'm now very. I mean, the grain has to be perfect. It has to match completely
You're following the plate.
the original plate and everything.
Yeah.
And I use the Dasri grain. It's a plugin from Nukapedia. It has been around for, I don't know, maybe 2018. But yeah, it definitely, it's very high quality. So I'm trying to read.
Pedro is saying that's when you want to use the position pass instead of geo. Cheaper.
Yes.
Cheaper.
Lately, I've been using a lot the position pass, and you'll see a breakdown where I use that a lot. Yeah, I get what he's saying, but at the time I was just I had a very high poly tree, and I kind of just slapped it in there.
Why not? Why not? Scott is saying Roto gives you an alpha mentality.
Yes, it's part of the human experience.
So this was done for your short film, right?
The first we did, I was still 18 at the time.
You were young.
So yes, it was, like I was saying, it was a very creative video. You can watch the full video on our channel. Maybe I'll link there right now.
Yeah.
But still love it. It's not as up to date as my latest, but
And it's solid work. What you
I think
want
it
in
works.
comp? It's invisible stuff.
yes.
It's one of the things that sometimes people use too many things, too many lens flares, too much CG, and then you look at that and it's all CG in your eyes. It's like,
Yes.
oh yeah, that's a CG whatever, that's a CG plant, that's a CG tree.
Yes.
So when you don't know what you're watching, that's the beauty of comp.
Yes. That means
That's
it
the
works.
joy.
That means it works. Basically, I'm proud of it. And it was we were just like 4 people on the set that day, including the actor.
The actor.
And
Yes.
we shot it in about 3 hours
Yes.
with my Sony A6300. Which is a very cheap camera, but I had rented a external video recorder, and I was able to get a much better codec. So
Nice.
in color grading, it definitely gave me more room to play with, and it was a very it was cheap to do as well, and we're proud of it.
Where did you guys shoot this? Because I remember seeing some familiar places there.
So
I remember seeing familiar places on the breakdown. No, and on the pictures that you guys
Yes.
put on Facebook, not on the trailer.
Yes,
Alright.
yes.
On the pictures that I saw
On
on
the pictures.
Facebook.
So
Go ahead.
we couldn't afford to go to Congo because that's
A bit dangerous
We're-
also.
we're not there yet. We hope to be one day. But the next best thing was Rábida, Serra da Rábida, and we basically found a secluded spot right right there. The car was right beside us.
It
so-
was literally in the
Yes.
middle of nowhere.
So you didn't need to ask for permission and all of this stuff, man. Oh. You can't imagine. When we did our course, we went to Parque das Nações and we tried to just randomly shoot anywhere and we just couldn't do anything.
Wow.
There is always a security coming in. Oh, you can't shoot here. Like, but it's a public place, right?
Was-
Why can't we shoot here?
It's
It's a public place.
kinda
No.
ridiculous,
You can't use this in your background. You need to talk. Well, after 3 or 4 times that they came in and said that we can't shoot, they said like, no. If you want to shoot, you need to talk with the head of security or head of whatever marketing. I don't know, someone. So I
Yeah,
went
someone.
there and explained. Okay, this is a school. We're trying to shoot just some backgrounds. This is just like normal people. We're not involving in anything that is commercial or getting money out of this.
yes.
So this is just for the guys to work at the school. So
Of
would you
course.
mind? It's like, okay, it's fine. So then we were able to finish our shooting.
yes, because
we sorry to
Yeah.
to interrupt. We also had another place to shoot. It was Sintra, but it was way too expensive, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. So we chose to go.
Sintra, you had to pay.
Yeah, a lot.
And then the lake was in Mata
Mata da Machada.
Mata da
in
Machada.
Almada, in Almada,
Yes,
right?
It's
Barreiro.
Barreiro. It's Barreiro.
So it's not
Barreiro.
very far from here, actually. So
Yes, it's very
we-
close.
We coming to here. We actually passed right by.
Yes,
the
we had
spot.
to transport a canoe, an African canoe, with us, and a lot. How many people were with us?
On the set. We were maybe, I think, more than 20. Or
Yes,
maybe
yes. There was comparing to the first video. It was very.
It was-
different.
it was
We had
ambitious.
a makeup artist. We had various sound technicians. We had various camera.
Yeah.
Including you yourself.
Yes, we had.
He also does the work on the field. Yes.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I shoot, I edit, I do all that work.
I think it's better. I'm not directly in the visual effects industry, but I think it's better when the visual effects supervisors or visual effects artists are in the shooting or are shooting in the set.
Yep.
Because that will help with the
Absolutely.
the visual
With
effects,
my
and I think-
experience, I mean, there's always some things that slip, but it gets better with experience. Of
Normal,
course.
man. That's
Yeah.
that's what the visual effects soup is there.
Sometimes you're like, yeah, I just need to touch this part here, but then you go to
Then you
to
change
the edit
everything.
and
Then you
and
change
you
it.
realize that you have a lot more work to do.
to change the entire background like you did. You changed
I
the
did.
entire background.
I-
It's crazy. It's
I went in
crazy
and
work.
I
It's
I
harder
wrote-
than the dinosaurs.
Yes,
Amazing.
it was very tedious, I
I
guess.
remember.
But
No beach days last year for you.
that's right. I couldn't take a vacation because it was a lot of work and
It was just you alone doing all
it
the
was
comp
just
for
m-
this.
Just me alone doing all the comp for this.
I think you wanted to
what-
be. I don't know.
No,
I don't know why. It's
I don't
maybe
know
too much of a
if I wanted
perfectionist.
if I
I don't know.
wanted somebody else, and it would involve other costs, and
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I guess
I can
I'll
do it.
this.
I can do it.
I guess I'll just sacrifice my mental health.
Your
now.
sanity. Yeah.
But in the end, I think it was worth it. So I think some of the shots were turned out really well, and yeah, that's basically it. You want to tell a story. You don't want people looking at your visual effects, noticing something out
the
of
whole
the
point,
ordinary.
right?
Yes.
Mhm.
That's the whole
Yes.
game of visual effects is that.
Yes. Yes.
That's good. All right. Do you want to
That's good.
show
Maybe since we're talking so much about that, maybe we show that breakdown.
Oh.
Go-
breakdown number 2?
Yes.
Yes.
But
Get
that-
ready.
this is
This is
This
an
is
exclusive.
this is unprecedented. So
Yeah.
Oh, this is a premiere?
this is
Yes,
a
the
premiere.
premiere.
Yeah.
Oh, drum roll, drum roll.
got
You
that.
also have a-
I have here my drum set that I've been building, but
Okay.
it's not connected yet, so I can't do a drum roll.
Oh.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoy. This is the premiere of this breakdown number 2 of the short film for Congo,
yes.
right?
No sound, but yeah. So basically, yes, a lot of geo, a few minimal cleanups. This is a roto, and here
Man, I was impressed. Like I didn't know that all of that was CG.
everything. The
everything.
room was completely empty.
Empty. Yes.
Insane,
And-
insane.
That's really.
And I already knew that I wanted to digitally add stuff because it would be very expensive to do it on set, and it just takes time with CG, I guess. This is another roto. This one was more than 200 frames, so I took about I took about 2 weeks, I think.
That's fine. 2 weeks. Danielle, tell him.
The funny thing here is that they're all different takes. So I mean, there were 3 different takes in that shot.
Oh man, and that blue screen is
Yes.
that like reflective?
No, but it needed a
the-
bit of ironing.
Yeah.
I ended up doing a bit of roto in here too.
It was impossible to have all
I
them
can imagine.
in the
So
can.
this is concept art for our final
Very hurried
money shot, I
concept
guess.
Yes.
We collaborated with, we were like 5 people doing each different work. And yeah,
Danielle says mad respect.
I textured this guy, and
Yes.
it was very fun, but it took a while because I was not very experienced with texturing organic looking
This
creatures.
dinosaur has
Oh
a
man.
So we were always I
Yes.
used the position pass here, but we were always back and forth with the textures. We were never quite happy, but eventually I think we reached
That looks gorgeous. Look at that.
a cool result. And yeah, that is basically it.
We
Full
didn't shoot
CG.
it,
When you
yes.
get when you get
Yes.
money to do full
Yeah.
CG, you know that you're in the right
Yes,
path.
there's photo scanning here. So the canoe, I
canoe,
took a
yes.
bunch of photos. I mean, like more than 100, and
Yes.
and I used that in the shot. So yes, those last 2 were
Wow.
full CG.
So this is all full CG.
yes.
Yes.
What about the background?
Um,
The
me
background is
Background is like
yes.
it's from a room
yes.
So yes. So
and the ground as well. No?
the
the
ground is
carpet,
real.
I
The
think-
carpet is
yes.
fake. The globe I actually modeled. It was one of the assets that I.
Oh,
that
so
I
you're a
modeled.
modeler too.
By the way.
By the way, yes.
By the way.
But yeah, I can do a few things, but I don't think I could do that chair, for example. But yeah, I grabbed. They're all basically free assets, and I retextured them. In here, I used the Houdini and the Redshift, and I just rendered.
Houdini and then Redshift, right?
Yes.
Nice.
And I just exported one frame, and that was enough. One for the shadows, and the other for the geo. And I had several mats to tweak some colors. And yeah, the light from the candles, it's real. We shot that.
Oh, I remember.
Yes,
now
the-
I remember. The
it's-
light there goes in the candles there.
The lights
It's very
the-
subtle.
It's very subtle. I mean, it's like 5 pixels, but
Man, it's easier, right? It's
Yeah.
easy if you shoot that. It's not gonna look
Yes.
fake.
Yes.
It's easier.
Mm.
also in the last shot of the dinosaur, we actually shot particles in an aquarium. We
Oh yes,
some of those particles.
Wow.
So that has a lot of layers. That's very complex. But some of those particles are real,
real,
because
yes.
it gives a feel
We mixed,
can't get with
we
CG.
mixed sand.
Yes.
I think sand I have for the animals at home, and we just mixed the water, and it was perfect in the eyes
Yes.
of the camera. It was
It's
perfect.
One man VFX army.
No doubt, no doubt.
no doubt. But it took me, I guess, about more than a year to complete this. And the short is only
6 minutes.
6 minutes
Yes.
long. But in the end, I guess it's worth it. It'll be available later this year on YouTube.
Yeah, it's you also have an amazing intro.
I could take your girl if you wanted to.
Thanks.
Be careful. André Pedro says stop.
Oh,
Oh,
André Pedro.
it's our cousin.
Oh man. Oh, look at that. Look at
So,
the blue screen.
I decided
Yeah, this man is.
this man is our hero.
Yes, yes.
Shout out to Guillermo. But so this shot, what I knew that really had to be the same was the lighting. So I decided to shoot it on location, even with
Yeah.
the blue screen all fucked up. I guess.
Absolutely. Man, the lighting
Yes.
is half of the work, right? It's the integration. Then the edges, you can roto, you can key it, you can do whatever, but that lighting on the character, you can't do anything if if it's too different.
Yes.
Uh,
I remember showing this shot to your student Ricardo Neto, which
Yes.
actually collaborated with
Yeah.
us in the process of making
Making the dinosaur?
dinosaur.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he didn't notice that I added the guys to the canoe later. So he just looked at the shot, and then I told him, yeah, this shot originally was just a canoe.
I mean, I didn't notice. I felt it was shot. I thought it was just shooting.
It was a kind of
It was dangerous.
dangerous.
It was very dangerous because barely two people.
Yes,
there
I
were
remember.
stable.
I myself went there to test how the canoe would float, and it didn't. So there were
So the canoe would float.
and we attached on that day you were working. You
Yeah,
weren't there.
I would.
We were there with I was with my grandfather, one friend of mine, and basically we tied rope around the canoe. I put myself in there, thinking, yeah, maybe it will be good, and it starts to
flooded.
go down, and then we have like the 3 men on shore pulling the rope, and I myself inside the canoe was like,
Oh. You need a better insurance.
yes. Then
You need to invest in this.
we had to fix the canoe, not by ourselves, but a friend became friends of ours, fixed it in Seychelles,
and
the
and
Nautic Club.
Yes,
Yes,
and it worked.
worked perfectly. The canoe got much better than
Yeah.
it was because it adds some holes. Yes, it was original. The canoe is original from Mozambique.
Mozambique, yes.
Yes, from decades and decades ago.
Wow.
Not the Congo time, but
It was in bad shape, I guess. But
yes. But it was.
It looks good.
It was a great deal. It was a great deal.
It
Yes.
got a new finish on the outside, and it looks very organic. I think it worked.
Let me go back to
Yes.
look at that.
we still
Man,
have it. We still have the
Yeah,
canoe.
but to break down that shot, so basically
go back.
it was not as easy as just keying and putting the guys there. I had to roto the canoe,
Yeah.
the front part.
Look at that guy. Look at the guy.
He was like he was there almost
Yes.
almost naked underwater with snakes and
There water
all
was-
kinds of animals passing by. He's our hero.
There was actually ducks, I think, that were passing on the.
Oh yeah, the ducks.
You had to remove the ducks.
I didn't have to remove, but when we got back there to shoot some plates, they were getting in the way a lot.
We said they could be Jurassic ducks if they appeared in one shot. No
yeah.
need to remove them.
A fun challenge here was the reflections.
Oh, I remember this.
It was
remember
like,
this.
okay, so yeah, I can't just put the guys in there, but to really sell the effects,
Oh, yeah.
they have to have reflections. And it was fun to do. I used a bunch of distorts, and I think it kind of it blends well enough.
Yeah. It looks good, man.
So yeah, it was another detail that.
Yes. Yes.
Looks solid. And you've raised the water level
raised
just to feel that it was
feel
Yes,
sinking
the
a bit
weight,
more.
Yes.
Yes.
Clever. Yeah.
Then there's that. There's the animal. We had a modeler doing it.
It was in here.
No,
No?
it was.
It was from Belgium. So
Yes.
we-
He's from Belgium. He's a great modeler, sculptor. Yes.
ZBrush and all that kind
He
of stuff.
does
Man,
all
looks good.
kinds of dinosaurs, and we had this. I contacted him, and he accepted the challenge. Took him quite a few months, I think, 2-3 months. I don't remember. And the model, of course, it needed to be.
Is it fully rigged?
Fully rigged, but
later,
it was
yes.
another guy that rigged it.
It was at
Sebastian
least 5.
of-
Yes,
Shout out Sebastian.
yes, he's
Uh,
been animating dinosaurs for us since way back in the day. Shout out.
And he's actually very good with rigging. He loves rigging. Personally, I don't really understand any of it, but I really appreciate the effort, and he did a very solid job, and he also animated. So
Yes,
he's
Yes.
a talented guy. And
very, very much.
so
very
I
much.
gave him very basic instructions actually, because how do you picture a dinosaur swimming?
I remember
Yeah.
I told him, or maybe he saw by himself, documentaries on Spinosaurus,
On Spinosaurus and
Well,
shots of crocodiles.
crocodiles
Because
underwater.
they have
Yes.
their arms very close to the body. And
Against
Yes,
their
against-
body. Yes.
and
Yes.
we incorporated that here. So
Yes.
yes, and here is another touch with the claw, so we can see a bit more detail and make it look a bit more menacing. And it's another touch, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Looks
The-
gorgeous.
The dinosaur is really.
The water there at the top is real as well. It's kind of low res MP4 plate, but it's so dirty that you can't see the compression artifacts. So
Yes,
that-
you also have the bottom of the lake, but we can't see almost anything because it's too dark.
Oh, but in the last shot, it's actually a fluid simulation with the canoe and everything.
Oh yes.
That was quite heavy.
Wow.
in Houdini as well.
Houdini?
Yes. I'm not the most experienced guy in Houdini.
This one?
Yes.
This shot. This
So
shot is
this is
very nice.
simulated, with a lot of comp magic. Because if you looked at the render looked like this. It looks so I like to take a render and it looks completely like shit and then make it look
Well, welcome to the real world.
and make it use all those passes like here the caustics the caustics over the dinosaur, it's
Yeah.
everything made in Nuke.
Yeah.
And that was a fun challenge because I was thinking maybe I'll render this with the caustics, but maybe this will be very heavy and
Super heavy,
maybe-
man. Volumetrics.
Maybe it'll have a lot of noise and I won't be
Yeah.
able to clear this in no time.
Some comp love.
Yes.
Some
Oh,
comp
yeah.
love.
So I imported the animated Geo into Nuke, and I was able to project some distorted noises and
Yes.
everything.
One fun fact: it's exactly the same dinosaur that's in the cover of our second book.
Yes.
Exactly the same one. So that's nice.
Super
Yes,
nice. Man, this done by yourselves alone.
Yeah, we really wanted to do the best we could, and we're again proud of our work. And this time it was a bit more in line with the regrains and everything. So it's down to we went down to the detail with this one.
You know, when I left Portugal, it was all about removing the grain from the plate to match the CG.
Yes.
And when I arrived on the outside world, it was actually the opposite. I was like, oh, Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
Because I worked as a CG artist for 5 years.
Mm.
So yeah, different times, man. Different times.
Yes.
Visual
Yeah.
effects is a different world.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is. It is.
It's a big world. I mean, the amount of stuff that you can get into, it's overwhelming. I mean, I started doing visual effects. I mean, I when I wanted to take this seriously, I was like 14, and I didn't even know that you're supposed to wait like a lot of time to render an image at the time. And I just
Well,
thought that you press a button and
welcome to Unreal.
yes.
You don't need.
Luckily, real time is getting.
You just
more
needed to wait 10 more years, but
Yes, I remember the first movies, the first films, short films we.
But
we
I didn't.
made.
Yes, I didn't really know what
we
I
won.
wanted
We
to
won
do
a
at the
prize.
time.
We won a prize with
won,
with
yes.
a film.
tell me about that.
That's actually about dinosaurs, but I am the main.
The main protagonist.
Yes, in this one, and was basically a T-Rex, and I was the guy commenting on T-Rex. It's like a documentary, yes. And then I had this time machine, and there was a meteor that
Yes,
hit the
yes.
Earth, and that a big dust wave approaching, and I was like, we gotta go to the present. Jump cut to the present, and
Yes.
we took the dinosaur. That's the comics the comic aspect of it.
So the camera
Yes.
pans to the right, and
Yes.
it reveals that the
the
dinosaur
dinosaur came with
with the time machine.
Oh.
yes, and we won a prize on that.
We
We used that prize to make his final project
For
yes
when I was in school.
in school last year, and was
That was
also
good.
in terms
It-
of
it gets-
visual
It
effects.
gets more ambitious each time.
Yes. Yeah, in terms of visual effects, at the time it was crazy. It was a big movie, about half an hour.
Yes, 22 minutes. And
You also did visual
Yes.
effects?
yes,
He-
yes,
yeah, he
yes.
did everything.
I shot, I
yes.
edited, and I did the visual effects.
Yes.
Because they don't really so at the class I was in, they don't tell you about visual effects because it's a completely different kind
True.
of. It's something very. I mean, if you want to get into it, you have to get into it. So they don't require that in the video class. So
Yes.
that was something that I learned completely on my own, and I used a lot of for years. I mean, the whole time I was in school, I was using After Effects,
Mm-hmm.
and
Classic.
yes, and I made the transition to Nuke, and it at first I was like, okay, so why do I have to merge everything? And I was kind of overwhelmed because with layers you just stack them on top and that's it. But it just the nodes in Nuke, it just makes so much more sense for
Oh, man.
compositing.
You know, I've
I can't go back.
you can't go back. I was because of my intro.
Yes.
I was playing with After Effects, and this was actually the first time that I played with After Effects because I was
Oh, really?
I was a CG artist and I was using Photoshop, but then
Mm.
we had compositors to do whatever we did in Photoshop, but to translate it to After Effects. This was back in the day. So I've never ended up using After Effects. So I went straight into Nuke. So now 15 years after I started my career, I touch After Effects and man, it's painful. It's painful.
It's-
I
it
It's,
think
is,
it's
it, it, it
dated.
hurts.
Yes.
Well, I do get it in terms of timeline. If you're playing with the timeline and if you're playing with motion graphics,
And
Yeah,
keyframes,
this-
it's very intuitive.
yeah,
with that.
makes
yes.
total sense. Okay, but then when you're trying to do something complex, like visual effects,
Yes.
Yes.
You need
It's
maths
just-
for everything.
no, I just couldn't. I was
Yes.
completely lost in that thing. So
Yes, yes.
craziness.
I remember when you stopped using After Effects, the relief, the relief you
I
had.
think about a month later of messing around with Nuke, because I got this internet to push VFX where I'm still today, and they told me we don't use After Effects gear. You have to learn Nuke. And I
Sweet.
and at first I was
That's
like,
it.
no, I was skeptical. I admit it. I was like,
Okay,
but
now
why
survive.
why can this be so much better? What can this give me that After Effects can't? And then it was a whole new world, I guess. Once I got into Nuke, once I got it to learn all the nodes and everything down in Nukepedia with the stuff that the plugins that people make, it's just very interesting.
Yeah.
The things you can do to the image and the access that you have to overbrights and all that kind of stuff. And lately I've been using a lot of the Aces color space.
Ah.
And I basically, like I said, with After Effects going to Nuke, with Aces, I just can't go back now because it's that much better. The colors look
and it opens
Yes.
up a world for the future, right?
Yes.
It's future proof. And-
compositing in Aces is just. I think it's even easier. I mean, with getting the the good looks.
A better world with nukes is a motto. Oh man, yeah, it's crazy. Once you make the transition, it's difficult to go back because it can
Yes.
actually handle too many different things and heavy stuff. So
yeah.
and I think it actually adapts to a lot of people from different areas. People that like it more technical, more mathematical, and people that like more creative. I think it's kind of a nice blend between those two.
Yeah, it's definitely very intuitive. You can see everything that you're doing, and that you can jump right into whatever you're doing if you keep things minimally organized. But
Yes.
It's good.
yeah,
I should invite Push to come here.
all right.
The owners, I should invite them to come here. In 2 weeks, I'm gonna have Nebula. It's
Right.
another
Nice,
producer. They're gonna be here talking to me, and yeah, the invitation is made as well for Push. If you want to come in and show your work and have a nice chat, nice relaxed chat, let's do it. Let's do it as well. Show me
nice.
what you're doing. Show me what you're doing.
So
Because that's pretty cool.
I was doing this very gore series of dinosaurs hitting people. I think I can. Yes, you can.
It's out of
understand.
focus. The problem,
Let me go.
the problem with lens.
Let me this.
Look at that.
It's like a real Velociraptor because Velociraptors weren't anything like the ones we
Yeah,
see
the
in
one- yeah.
Jurassic Park.
They had feathers, right?
Yes, they had feathers all over their bodies. They were like big, how you say, big chickens with claws.
Big chickens with
and
claws,
teeth.
yeah.
Yes. So basically, this is what I've been doing. I also have done recently this also.
Oh, I saw that on Facebook.
Yes. I posted like cute animals like geckos.
That's a gecko.
Yes, this is a gecko eating a person that resembles me for some reason. So it's like a T-Rex sized geckos. I don't know. In Reddit, I get all these kinds of crazy challenges. Recently, one of the things I did, which was this illustration of Spider-Man based on album cover. I made this while I was on vacations.
Yes.
This one
Can you zoom in?
yes, I think I can. Got a lot of Reddit awards and it was nice to see the people really enjoyed it. I made these kind of things just for
Oh
fun.
man, look at that.
It is like Spider-Man and these villains, and
I have
I
two.
don't
I
know.
have two Spider-Mans. Yeah.
oh
The
yeah,
Spider-Man's over
I
there.
was looking.
I was looking.
They're great.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
I think you guys can't see the my setup over here, but this is pretty much how
Yes.
I work
Yes.
in my desk when I'm doing visual effects.
Wow.
I always have all my collectibles around, so I just
That
people do
Wow.
believe that I'm crazy, and sometimes when I touch one of them and they go like domino, like pum 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 pum, and I go like shit, no.
Yes, I
Ah.
understand. I understand.
But yeah,
it's an amazing collection. Let me say it is.
There's Night Monkey. Yeah.
And this is I started this collection with Darth Maul that is over here
Yeah.
that I bought in Hyper Toys. Do you know the store? Umberto Marques
Yes.
store in Lisbon. Amazing, like the most dangerous place ever. If you like these kind of things. So I started with one, and then it progressed to what you see here, and it's substantial now. It's not insane, but it's quite substantial, and it's one kind of two themes here: Marvel and Star Wars. Most of it's
Yes.
Star Wars. I might be a fan.
You might have heard of it.
I might have heard of it. I might have worked on two of them as well.
Oh.
And the latest one, I don't know if you saw the last episode, the one Mandalorian.
Oh
I,
yeah.
with Baby Yoda.
I haven't seen it. I mean, I saw
I haven't
the
seen
first
It's
already.
It's gonna debut here
on September.
on September.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And it's
Oh.
gonna be opening right into season 2 that we were doing when we left Malaysia.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
So that's
we're gonna have to watch it.
man, Mandalorian is nice because it's a western. It's a
Yeah,
western
yeah.
in the time of Star Wars. It's freaking
That's an
insane.
amazing idea.
I'm really surprised. I mean, admired. I think with the new techniques that they're using with the real time,
the LEDs.
they're kind
LEDs.
of replacing chroma key and
Man,
it's-
forget about everything else. We had plates that we could see that were LEDs, but there's some other plates that I would say no, this is a set.
This is on.
And then when you watch the breakdowns and stuff, and it's like no, that was not that was LED.
Wow.
And then you see another one. No, this one was actually that's a build set.
It
And it's
works
like, no,
really
it's
great.
not.
Yes.
Yes, I've been watching some breakdowns and some show reels of that new technology.
Man, it's the future. And that
It
thing
is.
was a
It's
dome and was so
amazing.
bright that it could actually lit everything.
Yes, it
We've
looks
seen
looks
seen
real.
this before with just like I don't know, just like a spaceship, and you have the LEDs around just to have some reflections on his face, just to make it a bit more realistic. They do that with the cockpits when you're doing like a
Yes,
dogfight. But that was just for reflections, right? Now when you put that into a background and on top of you and on the
That's
that's
amazing.
that's
That's
insane.
Insane, really.
and it was real. Sometimes we had to clean up the seams.
Yes.
Sometimes like you could see there was like a mistake in there. There's but tiny little things that you were like,
Yes.
well, if you don't tell me
I
that
wouldn't
that the
notice.
problem is there, you wouldn't even notice.
Yes.
It's and it's the ambient is so nice that it shows how good is the storytelling because you're not listening. You're not looking at those problems. Usually, sometimes people say we lose so much time doing visual effects on stuff that if the movie was good, we would not be looking at that.
Yes.
And this is exactly what I felt with this TV series is that it's so good that I'm not looking at that for sure.
Yeah. yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking at where the director wants me to look.
That's
So
amazing.
Yes, yes.
That's really impressive.
That's the idea.
so brilliant, man. And then you
That's-
have the puppets, which is
Yes.
that little thing is always the puppet.
That's
Like you look at
amazing.
that and it feels real. And we had to clean up the wires. I think you'll see
There's
you'll see some of the stuff. We did some for the first season. For the second season, I can't disclose yet. But
Alright.
but you will see. There's plenty of cool stuff that we've done, and it was really nice, man. And it's so good when you're working on something that you know it's real. It's not going to be a CG creature that you're going to be like, unless it's really good, I'm not going to buy it.
Yes.
No,
yes.
that
It's
shit is
very
real.
hard. Yes.
It's real, and it looks real. It looks cute. It looks very, very relatable, very, very human,
Yes. Yes.
and it's a puppet. And you're like,
Yes.
well, bring me puppets, please, because I believe I can touch. I can see
That
that.
makes a lot of difference
So good.
on another series. the Jurassic Park series. It makes a lot of difference when the animals are actually there.
Yeah.
For the actors to interact with him, versus this new, probably not this new movie.
Yeah,
that came out.
the latest one. I saw the latest one and it was impressive.
Yes,
But there was some in the middle that were like.
That was really good, but Jurassic World, the first Jurassic World, had some issues with some shots.
Some shots. I think
because
you feel like it's too shiny, it's too pretty.
Yeah.
Yes,
it
but
doesn't look like real.
but when
feel
you
real.
have the T-Rex right in front of you, it's the same basic. It's now you have something to interact with.
Oh man, the
that's
first
amazing.
movie
The first movie
doesn't
is,
get old.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yes.
get old. It doesn't get
Yes.
any better than that.
I can't even
It's
imagine
it's
what
perfect.
kind of software they had to do that in, because
It was like 12 hours per frame or something
Man, it
about
was insane.
rendering the T-Rex.
It was breakthrough.
and there's a lot of compositing tricks in there. I read something on the internet that they did the compositing with basically it's all scripting, because I don't think they
A lot of
don't-
optical stuff.
Yes, maybe at the time I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah, I
all,
think it was computer by that
it was
time.
already it was already digital at that time, but yeah, still very impressive. I mean, everything
it's
just
crazy.
look like it belongs there.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of shading, you can see it doesn't quite hold up.
Yeah,
because-
some of the dinosaurs you
Mhm.
could see an eye like, yeah, that's outdated.
Yes, but the colors in the grain and the
Some
rain,
of the night shots are just perfect.
Yes.
Oh man,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
insane.
they
That's
they,
insane.
they took plates
The-
of grain and
The T-Rex
they
is
put on top.
actually wet. I don't know if anybody noticed. I think in his skin,
Yeah.
it's actually has droplets because the directors wanted to make it feel like. Then you have the practical one and you have the CG one, and they wanted to make them seem as
All the animatronic stuff.
Yes.
That's just
Even the velociraptors look freaking
yes,
amazing and
phenomenal,
scary.
phenomenal.
Some of the stuff that you see now with blue and actually I have a huge blue in there. Like
Whoa.
and I have a brachiosaurus that is like almost 1 meter. And I have a blue that is, 90 centimeters. Like, I need to show
Whoa.
you guys.
I
I
like
want to
it.
see that.
I collect, like you collect these awesome figures.
You collect dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, the ones from
Schleich and Papu.
Papu.
Oh, I
yes,
have a few there.
Yeah, you have. I still don't have a T-Rex, but I have a lot of the other ones. I have the Spinosaurus. I have not the new one.
I have the new one. I have the limited edition in there.
Oh my god! Are you listening?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
the Spinosaurus you wanted to buy from
so
Papu.
the one that
limited
that
edition.
looks like our.
Or Spinosaurus.
Let me get it.
Yet. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this is gonna be amazing.
that must have been really hard to get.
I heard they were only making like.
edition.
Oh wow! Wow, it's this
It's
one.
bigger than I thought.
It's amazing.
So it
Oh,
looks a
wow.
lot like
I'm a kid again.
the one in the,
what I was telling you.
Oh. What?
Look at that.
This is amazing. This is exactly like our Spinosaurus from the film.
yes.
Wanna grab?
So-
I wanna hold it.
Oh, just excuse me a minute.
It-
This is
this
So
one's
apparently
from-
this is the new scientific recreation of the
Yes,
Spinosaurus with a tail is
Yes.
completely different than
Yes.
they thought it was before, right?
Now, basically,
even
they weren't sure.
yes.
They weren't sure if he would be able to swim. Now they know for sure he was actually able to swim because the tail has this elongated vertebrae, and that's it. He can swim, and we said when we knew it, we said, oh, that's cool because our Spinosaurus in Congo actually swims all the time.
Yep.
So
It's much more close to this.
it's much more close to this.
Nerd
than the
level is reaching
Jurassic Park.
99%.
Oh, it's through the roof now.
no barriers, Cam.
Oh man, wait until we take the gecko out. So Henrique actually brought the gecko.
Yes.
So you guys
Oh my god.
stick
this
around because it's gonna be interesting.
This is.
Look at that.
You open his mouth. Oh,
Oh, crazy.
I'm just a kid again.
Oh man, yeah.
This is
So this
amazing.
one, the Brachiosaurus, I
Brachiosaurus.
brought from Malaysia,
Oh, this is
and
crazy.
I had to cut his head because it didn't fit in my bag.
Oh.
And because it's a one-way mount. They say, well, it comes disassembled, but then it's a one-time build. You cannot take it apart.
Cannot take it apart.
Danielle says, I'm not surprised either. So yeah, that one there, that's a limited edition that my
Yes.
parents bought for the kid, and basically that became the king of them all.
Wow.
So the Spinosaurus is around when he's playing. Everything is about the Spinosaurus,
Yes.
which is like not even the T-Rex. I have the T-Rex in there, and
But-
even the T-Rex
yes.
is like.
It looks
This is
like
bigger
he
than the
has
T-Rex.
translucency. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
it looks very realistic.
man, it's
when
it's-
you
yeah.
yes,
The texture
God.
is unbelievable.
it's amazing. Even the colors match our Spinosaur.
Pedro is saying it's funny that my brother also started to draw dinos when he was a kid, around 5 years old, and that's what took him to comics too. Pedro's brother is a really crazy artist, man. Tell us about your
Yes.
brother, man. He draws for some big companies, man. So
Wow.
yeah.
I
He's-
think I already guessed it.
yeah. So
But who is? But
man, it's crazy. So yeah,
That's
I have a big collection. I'll show you guys.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
Well, tell us about your gecko. Tell it since we are nerding out and drifting out of visual effects, and I love that. Tell us about your gecko. So this guy here is also Flipendrad.
yes,
your name?
I got it right.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. I know.
Oh, man, look at-
I follow his work. He's just an amazing, phenomenal artist. One of the best we have here born in Portugal. Just amazing.
Outstanding,
I
huh?
love
Phenomenal work.
outstanding,
Yes,
really.
yes.
Yes. So you were saying?
Yeah. I was saying that's you have these beautiful creatures, beautiful, outstanding creatures
Yes.
that are called geckos, and I've been watching your videos about these
Oh.
creatures, and I have a passion for reptiles,
Yes.
and I was always thinking, oh, I need to get a reptile. And the last time I thought about it was in Malaysia, and I was trying to get a bearded dragon, and then I went to watch a lot of videos about it, and I felt like, yeah, you know what, it's better not, because then what they eat, and then
Yes.
it would be difficult. It would be difficult.
I
but
also
one
brought
day-
with me some of his food. I think it's in the. I don't
It's
know.
the worms. He eats
yes,
worms.
the
Yeah.
little worms. Yeah, not so
look at that.
little when you compare.
Tell
it
us
to the-
tell us
to the
about
normal.
it.
Yeah, this is a leopard gecko. So it's a reptile.
Look
It's
at that.
my probably most docile female. I have a lot of geckos. I don't know how much by now.
look
Really,
at that.
really a lot of them. Not only leopard geckos. I also have tokay geckos, which are the demons or the pit bull
Yeah,
of the
those
gecko
ones are-
world. Those are really mean lizards.
They're
Those-
very
I
aggressive.
have one that's captive bred. He's very gentle, very nice. He jumps around a lot, but he basically never beat me. But the big male I have there, my biggest male, it's in a enclosure that has looks like the raptor enclosure from Jurassic Park.
Wow.
It's just vegetation, and then you see those big eyes and big mouth staring back at you. It's
and he barks as well.
he barks a lot.
oh man, I saw the sound. It's
It's
crazy.
really crazy. Imagine
very
this,
loud.
You're sleeping and he does the sound like at least 7 times per night sometimes.
Wow.
and you just wake up every time. Maybe the neighbors wake up too. My parents, our parents, wake up too for sure.
At
It's
first
very
they
loud.
thought it was a ghost.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause it's very loud.
My family thought it was a ghost because they didn't know the geckos made that sound,
Man.
and it's really loud. The male is really big. It's really loud. He was tiny when I got him, and now he's just gigantic. He's like approaching.
How big?
He's maybe approaching 40 centimeters long. It's really big. It's really big. Even for a toke gecko, it's really big. Now the small one I have there, it's like 8 months old. It's very, it's almost a baby still, but it's bigger than this. It's bigger than a leopard gecko. This is Shaka, by the way. I bred leopard geckos before. I have one. I sold the other ones, but I stood with one. That's the smallest gecko.
That's a beautiful animal. That's a beautiful animal.
She just seated on my hand because they're cold. They're cold-blooded and they need the heat. My hand is warm, and she's just
sits there
Yes.
and stays there for as long as she likes.
she can stay here for. Sometimes I fall asleep with them on my shoulders. It's this part is very warm on us, and they just stay
Wow.
there for hours. And I fall asleep and I wake and they're still there. They're just amazing. They don't do nothing. They don't bite. They don't do noise.
Do I see through the years?
Yes, if you can see through the ears,
Yeah.
it's a nice sign, because if you couldn't, then there would be some sort of infection.
Wow.
If you can, then everything is okay.
Wow.
And they
Oh,
got this
man.
fat tail.
Yeah.
She doesn't mind at all me messing with her because she's very used to people.
She must be thinking like, let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go.
I don't know. She likes to climb a lot.
Other geckos, if I did this, they would be jumping right
Jumping
off my
straight.
hands. But this one, I can do this, and I can do this.
So you've been
Maybe they got-
keeping her for how long?
5 years now, more than 5 years. She was
How big was and how
she
old
was,
was
she was tiny. She is about 5 years, a little more.
And you got her from like really tiny?
Wasn't a baby, was juvenile. I think it had like 5 months or
Okay.
something. Wasn't this big, of course, was small. And she came with a sister that but there's one thing that's strange. Her sister is bigger than her. It's probably the biggest leopard gecko I have, and is very mean. At this point, I had them. Yes, I had them together.
So you have only two of them. You have the really soft ones,
Yes.
and you have the
yes,
the absolute crazy ones.
I don't know. These animals really have a personality to them, because this is like the most docile reptile I have ever owned, probably, and the other one is not like Toke gecko crazy, but it's really crazy. One day they were together because they were young. They started fighting each other, and I had to separate them. They're
Oh.
obviously separated right now, but it's very strange because in looks they look exactly the same, except the other one is a bit
Mhm.
bigger. It's very strange. They came from the same clutch, and now they're just completely different. If I even try to grab that female, she will immediately try to bite me. The
Wow.
bite doesn't hurt that much, but I have a male. The males have a bigger head. I have a male that bit me one time, and it got
It was a bit ugly, yes.
what a bit ugly for a gecko. Nothing to really worry about, but bled a little and was a bit deep. Yes, was bad, but nothing compared to a Toki gecko. If you can hold.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you
she
sure?
is super docile. You just do
She
it
doesn't
like this.
mind
Yes.
people at all.
Oh man, look at that. Let me just switch.
There she is.
When they're smelling, they're actually comfortable. They're exploring. It means they're when the tongue's out. If she wasn't smelling like she was right now when I passed her on to you, it was a sign she would be she'd be stressed. But she isn't.
Incredible.
She isn't leaking wherever she steps. But she is, so basically there's no problem.
They're very curious.
Yes. They can make noise too, but it's like very inaudible kind of noise. It's like when they're in effort.
Effort or distress,
Yes.
but it's very short period of time that they do
Yes.
it.
Nothing like a gecko.
Because
Nothing that was like-
those bark really.
bark really loud. Yes. Yes.
Oh, man, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes. She really is one of a
Wow.
kind.
Easy to keep?
Very easy to keep.
Yeah.
Easier than a bearded dragon because they don't need UVB, the light which basically it's the sun to them.
Yeah.
Which gives them the view. They don't need it as long as they're in an ambient where they can have some sun rays coming through
Mhm.
the windows. They can distinguish between night and day. That's okay.
Awesome.
So they just need a heat mat, which is like a small carpet
Mhm.
you put underneath the terrarium, and it emits heat, sometimes really really strong heat. I've had measures of like 60 degrees, something
Wow.
like that is too much, but wasn't any animal inside. I was just preparing to receive them. But yes, these heat mats often come with a thermostat, so it's easy to control the temperature.
Nice.
And a big enclosure is also necessary because they like to walk. Shaka may not demonstrate it, but they tend to like to walk.
Is it like an horizontal or more like a vertical?
More
terrain?
horizontal. More
Horizontal,
horizontal. For tokageckos, is more vertical because they are climbers.
You need to convince my wife if she is watching. you need to see it.
This I can say one thing. My mother is very was scared of reptiles. Probably still is.
Yes.
But these geckos are really tolerable because they don't do anything. They aren't really they aren't aggressive. They don't bite. They aren't fast. Certainly, they aren't fast. And I think even I've met people who were afraid of reptiles, but ended up owning a gecko.
Mhm.
I have friends who also bought geckos or directly from me, or bought geckos simply because they went to my house and then
They were inspired.
Yes. I also have other animals. I have tarantulas. Can you show
show us that? And this is the time where I lose my wife. She must be like, switch off.
So
Yes.
this is real but not real. So it's a real.
I can explain it maybe.
Yeah.
It's a molt. It's a molt from a bird eater tarantula, one of the biggest tarantulas there are. It's a real molt.
Wow.
The tarantula itself is bigger than that now because each time they molt, they grow a little. So the tarantula is really big. It's bigger than on my hand, certainly. I
Yes,
can't
yes.
grab her. I wouldn't risk it.
You
though.
still have this tarantula.
Yeah,
we
still
at
have.
home.
we
I
made
still
a
have.
we made a video with her.
Last year, I think I went on vacations, and she got loose. I wasn't home, but I knew she
Uh-oh.
got loose. I forgot to shut the terrarium, and she's very strong. She's a very strong animal, and
How
she opened. It was like an inch maybe. She
opened the terrarium.
She stuck her legs.
Wow.
She's very strong, and she opened enough for her to
To escape.
to escape.
You know this is a plot of a movie.
Yes, yes. It's like very arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia
Yeah.
too.
but
I know you're a fan of that movie, right?
yes, yes. That's what that movie. It's what got me into tarantulas and spiders.
Can I see it?
Yes,
yes,
yes.
yes, of course.
Oh,
yes.
man.
It's really impressive. The tarantula itself is more impressive.
If you ask me if I would be holding a tarantula like I was holding the gecko, I would probably be sweating a bit more. But I'll probably do it.
They're
if
more
you-
unpredictable. Like,
If you guarantee that you're not going to beat me.
yes, that tarantula specifically, it's more difficult to predict. I have
Yeah.
other tarantulas who are more chill, let's say. That one, it's more like 50-50. One day she's nice, one day she's like throwing hairs all over the place and biting everything.
Look at the size, like
Yeah.
the size of my face.
Yeah, she's very big.
Oh man. But would these do they have any venom or that?
Yes, all tarantulas, all spiders, except for one species, I think, have venom. Tarantulas in general don't have strong venom, so if she were to bite me, I would it would probably hurt a lot because the fangs are enormous, are like cat claws, are very big. But this really depends if the person is allergic to bees or wasps. Is
Yeah.
basically
Kind of the
almost-
same.
Yeah, almost the same venom. There's a probability of the venom doing something, but as a matter of fact,
What's her name? Scott is asking.
Okay, I'll get to that in a second. If she were to bite me, nothing really would happen besides the pain, maybe a little muscle cramps, something like that. But no black window,
No black. Yeah.
no,
You're not gonna-
nothing like that.
you're not gonna
No,
die.
No tarantulas have ever killed a person.
from their venom.
At least from the venom, at least since we know her hairs.
She decided not to kill you.
Yes,
She's like, yet.
the urticating hairs.
She's like,
maybe
It's
she's
like
like
plotting.
while you're feeding me, I'm not gonna kill you, but
Yes. Sometimes my Tokai geckos seem to be plotting to conquer the entire world. They look at me with
Wow.
those huge eyes and they're like, someday I will hit you while you say.
Oh,
No,
They
can't-
would,
they
they
can't do
would.
it. They would if they were a bit bigger. If they were dog-sized, I have no doubt they would probably be like little alligators.
You couldn't contain them.
Yes,
Jazz
but,
is here sleeping.
yes,
and he
he's
doesn't.
sleeping.
He doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, he doesn't want.
But it would be
to.
interesting if he sees the gecko. You'll be like, "What is that?"
I have had reactions from dogs earlier, and dogs were calm around geckos, but the
Yeah.
geckos just hate the dogs because I think they associate them with predators, and their tail starts to wag violently. I think as they have poor eyesight.
Oh man, we have one of our. It's like, so I am new here. It is to know what is the podcast is all about. Sorry for the question if it's embarrassing. Sorry, my friend. This podcast is about mainly visual effects.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
but because of the theme of our guests, we've diverted now
Yes.
into reptiles and tarantulas. So
But actually, we have a movie about where we put the tarantulas on the chroma and then upscale them.
Yes,
Wow.
we
And
made
then
them.
we have giant tarantulas following
You.
basically me, because I was doing the acting at the time.
wow.
And it's really cool. So we merged these two worlds together. But just answering the question of what's her name. Her scientific name is Laciodora paraibana, the tarantula. But her name is Constanza.
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 It's a nice royal name.
Yes.
Very
She-
fitting.
Yes.
I remember seeing like one of your videos from Monkey Flag, and it
Yes.
has a
yes.
tarantula
Oh yeah,
there.
we showed the most animals there.
Yes.
Should I put
yeah,
it in?
it's 4 minutes, but yeah, we can watch.
Yeah, we can watch.
See it. Is this the Monkey Flag?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
That's it.
So this is a bit trippy.
It's a bit trippy.
But has all the animals, even a snake, a corn snake.
This has a
Yes.
lot of flashing imagery. Just wanna throw that out there. It's a bit frenetic.
Yes.
That's me.
But that's
Ah, look at
different was that those are mating. She hates the male after.
She ate the male and didn't
Poor
lay
male.
the eggs.
Yes.
Ate the male.
Yes.
So the male was
Oh,
good for
man.
nothing.
Yes.
So this is you editing as well.
Yes.
Shooting and editing.
Shooting and editing. This is a more
You got
experimental.
two awards from this.
Yes.
If I
Oh,
remember.
nice.
Last year.
At Figueira Film Festival. If I'm
Yes,
not
yes.
mistaken.
I didn't
which
even go
which
there.
is only the only festival you sent this to,
Yes.
and you win.
but I wasn't.
Well, did you know the organizers?
I have no idea.
I think we didn't know anyone there. We didn't even go to the ceremony.
Oh, man.
Which was bad. We thought like
We was really-
we have no chance against this international
Oh, man,
music.
look at what do you play?
I play the piano. I'm joking, but it's kind of the piano. So I basically am playing certain sounds, and sometimes I have melodies. So I program this several layers of electronic production
Nice.
on top of the rock sound.
I have two little things because I do DJing as well a bit in my for friends. So I have DJ Tech Tools. What's the name? MIDI Fighter. I have MIDI Fighter and MIDI Fighter Twister in
Alright,
there.
I'll take a look at that. But yeah, we produce the tracks kind of like one would produce a beat. So
Mhm.
we record first the instruments, and then we had a few more layers of electronic production, and it enhances the sound to this more experimental side.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wait.
basically
Yes, it has a lot of visual effects also.
there are a few visual effect shots, nothing too complex, I think, but yeah, it was more experiments and stuff like that. We wanted to.
Is this copyrighted? Because I'm putting the sound and I'm like, uh-oh.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's fine. But yeah, the main goal for this music video is we wanted to always keep showing new stuff.
Yeah, it's
So-
kind of psychedelic. Man.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get repetitive, and we wanted to make it as fresh as possible. So it's always
Oh, the gecko.
yes,
Yeah.
the get. So we don't repeat. We don't have maybe the cliche music video
Yeah.
structure
Yeah.
where it's just a few locations and
Yes, it just shots we recorded. I was
Yes,
there
yes.
most of the times too. Some of them were really.
My wife is like, my goodness. Are you still there? She's probably referring to a tarantula.
Oh yes, yes. yes.
Not the video.
The maggots.
this is
yes,
what
the
this is
larvae.
what the gecko eats.
Yeah, it's basically what they all eat.
Yep. That's what I believe that it's difficult to keep in house.
It's quite simple. You just have a box, throw in a lot of larvae. You feed them every day with broccoli, vegetables. It's the same gecko I have here. And it's fine. The maggots, the larvae, really reproduce as well.
No,
Yes,
they don't take
yes.
a lot of maintenance.
Yes.
And
Neither do geckos, I think.
This is nice, man.
In terms of reptiles.
This is nice. Well done.
Yes.
Well done. What else do I have here? We are almost like hitting the 2 hours. Man, this looks
Wow.
like we just started.
I didn't
Yes,
even
yes.
realize.
Easy. And we still have 6 people watching.
More will join.
Okay, do you
Yes.
guys want to show
It's just-
something? Tell me,
What
would you like to show?
Maybe
You did recently visual effects for
Yeah.
a YouTuber, which is a
Yes.
friend of ours too. Spaceship.
A spaceship,
I don't know if you want to show.
the name of the guy is Pratik. Maybe you can look it up in there.
Okay.
And yeah, this is a very simple breakdown. I didn't have much time to make something more complex, but this is basically the original shot. And yeah, what I did is I put a spaceship in there, and also cleaned up some cars and some of those posts, and yeah, that was basically it.
Some anamorphic lens flares in there as well.
Yes. To make it
Nice.
look more spectacular, I
Yeah.
think it's kind of the
More
goal.
filmish.
Yeah. Even though
Yes.
this is not an anamorphic shot, for this
Yeah.
example, I just assumed that just make it look more high end, I guess.
You know, I saw today in Facebook somewhere, basically an adapter, like
Yes.
almost like a filter for your lenses, normal lenses, and that one has like some streaks that basically makes all the lights streaky.
Streaky,
So
yes,
it doesn't have all the anamorphic things.
doesn't have the bokeh, or does it?
No, it doesn't have. It doesn't have.
I
the,
love the bokeh. It
yeah,
has to
man.
have the bokeh.
The nice stretchy and all the breathing and stuff. No, it doesn't have any of that. But it does. It does natural streaky
Natural
lights, like
streaky
streaky
lights,
lens
yes.
flares.
Nice.
I
That's nice.
haven't shot anything in anamorphic, but it's one of my goals.
Oh man, it's nice.
Yeah, it's very.
But
Very
for
nice.
visual effects,
It's it's very hard to blend something with anamorphic.
for
footage.
visual effects is an absolute nightmare. We on the last episode, Danielle was showing one of the shots that we did for Star Wars, and all of that is anamorphic lens. So insanity to do any kind of cleanup, and it has a pull focus.
Oh,
So he goes like,
and the bokeh changes. I mean,
Yep.
in the edge of the image, it's different from
Yep.
the center.
Yep,
And
yep.
that's I don't know how one would do that.
Everything gets stretchy, and all the sizes. Oh my goodness, what is August saying? I just have to say that apart from your love from the rentals, I think you guys are fantastic. At such young ages, showing that initiative, hard work, and maturity is simply impressive and inspiring. That's
Thank
why I
you so much.
invited them.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Very
much.
much.
We
Very
really,
much.
we
Insane.
really take
It
your
is.
words.
It is, man. It's super inspiring. Super inspiring what you guys are doing.
Yes,
Taking all of these things, because not just one thing. It's the combination of everything that
Yes.
you've been doing.
we basically.
We-
I'm
we-
gonna try to put her here. I don't know if it will work. We basically we contemplate each other.
Yeah.
You can
we
say that.
Yeah, we complement in a way that
Yeah.
I mean he draws, I don't draw, but
Also,
there's all these things that they come together.
The films we did, the short films we did. So we had like this. Oh, so the storyboard is already done. It's like in the comic book. It's already the storyboard. But my brother said, no, it's not done. We have to do the storyboards for the film, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
obvious. And I did all the storyboards for both of them. But we also had the book or the pages.
Yes,
at least
so we took
printed.
a lot of inspiration from that as well, obviously.
Yes, when we were recording, yes, everything. We had this. I think in the second the second volume,
Oh, I
the
mean, this
last
is-
pages.
This is beautiful.
The last pages.
Do you want
have-
to show us a bit? Do you want to show us a bit?
Okay.
Because it's gorgeous. Like
okay.
all the drawing is insane.
It's-
I haven't read all of it, but it's just gorgeous.
Thank you.
So-
Here you have what I was talking about. So you have first the comic book here.
Sorry, let me.
The comic book here. Then it goes to storyboards here,
Storyboard.
which is pretty similar. You can see, and then we go to the
Live
film
action.
itself. Yes,
The
yes,
final
yes.
shot, yes.
And some shots like here at the bottom of the page are like taken right out of the of the comic itself. So you saw that dinosaur there. I think I can show you what the dinosaur looks like in the comic. Trying not to spoil anyone. So, okay, there are no exact shots taken from the film, but here it is in this page. You can see
Yeah.
it's quite different from the film. But yes, it's the same. The
Inspired in the
same
Spinosaurus, right?
Yes, the Spinosaurus, which is in the cover.
Wow.
Yes.
And
Done in Nuke as well.
yes, and in the book we also have these little curiosities, like this part. It had to be here. The cryptid size chart and the curiosities about the cryptids. We also, I think I didn't mention it. We also have giant tarantulas in both of the books because it's actually a cryptid. They're in the Congo. We thought of making the film first about tarantulas, but it was very hard to get
Yes,
a spider
supposed
to
to shoot in a
yes.
cave, but that
It's
will
very
involve a lot
it
of
would be very hard.
characters.
Yes. So we have these giant tarantulas in both the volumes, causing mayhem everywhere. But especially in this second volume, I had
Oh.
He tends to sometimes jump. No problem. Their bones
They
are
don't know
almost
they don't know the edge of the.
yes, I had to draw them and make their intentions, the animals' intentions, look like they are animals and not monsters,
Yeah.
which is really hard. I remember basically you have this. You have this first volume. All the animals look like they're killing each other. They're killing the people. It's just complete. It's just crazy. And then the second volume, you know why they're killing each other, why they're after the people, and this was very, very important for me to portray them as animals and not just monsters, because there tends to be something to alert the animals to attack, whether it be each other, whether it be people. Every animal as like that. So in the second volume, it starts off why the main dinosaur, let's call him like that, the Mokele Mbembe, which mean the stopper of rivers, because it's so big, supposedly. This stops the flow of rivers, something like that. And why is he bad? Why is an herbivore dinosaur similar to the Brachiosaurus? Why is he chasing humans? Why is he killing all the humans? Because at first they were stealing his eggs, and it's
Protection.
Yes, it's protection. It's an
Natural
angry
instinct,
An
right?
an angry mother going after the species as humans that took her offspring from her. So there is that. It's not just a mindless monster going after humans. It's just it's just an animal going after her offspring. After all, and this goes for all the other animals. Why the tarantula attack a specific character? Because maybe the character was where it wasn't supposed to be. Maybe because he tripped on a web. Maybe because something happened. The spiders function like that for movement. They have poor eyesight, even though they have like 8 eyes. They see very badly. But geckos here, they see very. They have like one of the best visions of the animal world. It's just a
Really?
curiosity. Yes, they have.
For darkness especially.
Yes, not just, but in darkness
fascinated.
they see yes, they see perfectly. They see perfectly, Um, yes, I.
So all of these became your inspiration to start this.
Yes, yes.
And then you guys just like complemented and brought together the best of each one of you
Yes.
to basically do this perfect combination.
Yes.
I think it's beautiful, man. It's
we always work together. Not only on this project, we worked together before on other projects, but this is obviously the first serious project that we're into, and we
Cool.
wanted to make it look as good as possible. And one thing that we really have in mind is the realism of things. My brother here, he really likes the compositing.
Positive.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Don't know if you want to talk more about it. You like seeing the things realistically, and I
yes.
love that. I mean, it's not really my area. I'm more of an artist, the artist of a 2D.
More on the artist side, and it's more
yes.
also on the technical side.
Yes. It's more like that.
Perfect combination. It's
Yes,
the perfect
yeah.
combination. What do you want more?
Yes. It has to be like that. And in the film actually, this film we showed with the dinosaur and all. We also did just us two did the production.
Yes,
entire
yes,
production
It was,
with-
it was
which
crazy.
Oh, nice.
It was
which is-
crazy, really.
If you want to talk about it,
Yeah, maybe.
I think it probably isn't very much about visual effects, but it.
Well, it's part of it.
it's part of it. It's part
Visual
of it.
effects is the combination of so many departments that people are not aware of that.
Are not
That's
aware,
why
yeah.
when I did my course, we went on set just for the guys to understand how important it is what they're doing when they get the footage. So
Yes.
it's so important that they understand
Yes.
how did that picture arrived in their
Yes.
computers and why are they storytellers as well? Because if you don't do it correctly, you're not going to help telling the story.
Yeah, it's probably gonna stick out. And so as storytellers, we want to keep the story our main focus. And visual effects are just another tool, another part of the process that we
Yes.
want that makes us tell the story. And it's very interesting. I mean, I'm a very apologist of what you can shoot, you shoot.
Yeah.
And instead of maybe doing everything in visual effects. And ideally, what I like to do is maybe use as much photography as I can and as much real world reference and everything, just to sell everything and achieve that realism that
Yes.
people look at it and they don't even think about it.
One thing that is also funny about the film where we had the canoe and all. My brother didn't like the. It wasn't a question of like. I think it was a question of making it seem more believable. When you replaced all the backgrounds you replaced.
Yeah, because it was in the movie. It was very dangerous. I mean, the canoe is very lightweight and it could sink, having three adults.
But it's not just that. It's just it's more to give the impression of moving, because we couldn't be really moving with three actors sitting inside
Yes,
the canoe.
that's
Yeah, that'd be
And
dangerous.
we went back to Mata da Machada, which is a 2-kilometer walk.
Yeah,
think.
yeah. So
Not much, but when it's sunny and you have like a gigantic tripod and camera and all this gear, and the sand, it keeps. You keep.
yeah.
You keep.
it's a hard
sinking.
walk, but we got there. We
We got
sat-
there another day,
Yeah.
like 1 year after we shoot the film, and we we took the plate.
Yes.
It was like this, which was fun, and then the plates had to match exactly like the hour, the sun had to be exactly at the same point, so it
Yeah,
wouldn't seem believable. So this was made a year after we had
So you went for
with the actors.
reshoots, which is a classic.
Yes, yes. And the post in this case took more than a year, so we had plenty of time to.
So yeah, I basically decided maybe I at first I was trying to sell it with camera shakes and something like that, but
Well, yeah.
it
yes.
wasn't. It
Mm.
still felt kind of static, and
Yeah.
I realized, okay, so I have to go down the route I didn't want to have to go.
The hard way.
Yes, but
I think you even removed a fly.
I removed
from,
yes, I removed the fly
that's crazy.
because it was messing up my roto.
Yes, I remember that. It was messing up the road.
I thought, well, it's easier to just remove
I think
the fly.
there was 2 flies in the shot.
But when I
One
couldn't
you
get rid
kept.
of
One you kept.
I kept, but I had to. I mean, when the fly got out of camera,
You had to fake the fly.
I basically went frame by frame and I put the
no,
fly
no.
and
Okay.
I transformed the fly PNG or whatever there was a fly cut out with a bunch of motion blur just to recreate the fly movement because
Yes.
it was easier than to be out there rotoing basically a streak of motion blur that was the original fly. And it was easier that way, and it was just as effective.
Cool.
Yes,
Yes.
It was.
And you have a story to
Uh,
tell. This is the fun part of doing this. You have
Yes.
all of these memories from these fantastic days.
Yes, yes,
it were.
no doubt.
Yeah.
Anything else that you guys would like to show from the videos that you gave me? There's a trailer.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know what you sent.
I don't even remember. Maybe I don't know. It's a bit different, but the Air Max video. Is
Okay.
More
Oh, that's that one.
it's
That
more
one was very
motion
nice.
graphics, but I'm really proud of how that one turned out. I made that in late 2018, so it's almost 2 years ago.
Cool.
But
Sounds
yeah,
like yesterday.
Was this done at
at Push,
at
yes.
Push as well?
But it was a internal project, and
Cool.
I did everything. I had full creative liberty, and it was
Oh, nice.
kind of a proof of concept for future works, and I'm glad how it ended up.
All right, let's launch it. Kiss
That's
my
very-
ears.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
Oh man, this is nice.
So this is very
Wow.
different from what I usually do, but nonetheless this was very fun, and I don't know, I was just very creative at the time. I took like 12 days to fully complete this project, and that's
12 days. So
yes.
fast.
So that was kind of fast, yeah.
That was very fast.
For one guy, and
Nice.
I think the renders came out pretty clean, and I think it looks good. Yeah.
Man, that
Yes.
looks
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
There's some cloth simulation in there as
A
well.
bit of class, yeah. It's Houdini. It's basically everything Houdini and Redshift. And new
And you do you do basically 10 departments. Do you do match move as well?
Yeah.
yeah, I know a few things, but more like camera trackers and but object tracking. That shit is like mind blowing.
Yeah.
I see people doing like a full body movement,
Yep,
roto,
yep.
3D roto. I'm just tired of looking at I get physically exhausted.
Crazy, man.
Because you have to do roto in 3 dimensions. It's crazy.
Wow.
really.
Insane.
That's
It's insane.
That's really,
Well, that's why
that's
there's
really
so
insane.
many departments and people that dedicate just to that, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Match moving layout. But you do
Yes.
everything, man. You do a bit of modeling as well. Modeling,
Yes.
texturing.
Yes, don't say
Yes,
no.
yes.
Don't say no.
He's like,
don't say no.
He's like, I'm
He's
not gonna commit
like,
to that one.
Yes, yes. Because
Modeling, it's not my main thing, but I know how to do some stuff. I did the globe that.
he wants me to go into modeling as well.
If you can draw, you could model. It's kind
Yes,
of.
I have never tried it.
Yeah.
I say it here for the first time. I have never tried modeling, but I love it. I sometimes find myself
Sculpture and
watch,
stuff like in
yes.
ZBrush. That would
Yes.
be interesting.
It's amazing.
I
It's
think
really amazing.
you would do good in a program a software like.
I gotta try it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I make that promise here. I am going to try it.
What do you do in the visual effects pipeline?
So
Concept art for sure.
concept
no?
art, storyboard, very much about storyboard, concept art also. Then sometimes this little is like storyboard animatics.
Yep.
So like you have almost the sound. You don't have the movement. It's like almost like an animation, but
We call it
without
previs and
else.
post-vis.
Yes.
It's previs
yes.
before it has any kind
Yes.
of relationship with the plates,
Mhm.
and it becomes post-vis when you have the plates in there.
Yes. I also do some photo manipulation. I enjoy Photoshop quite much. And
Do you do photography?
photography.
No, not much.
I sometimes edit. I very much like to edit
Mhm.
photos. My brother is better at photography than me, for sure. But I like to. What I like more it's the part where I really where I really edit. We did this thing. If you want to show on the iPad, I think it's interesting. It
I don't even know what
It's,
you're talking about.
the monsters.
Do you want to show something?
the monsters? The monsters.
Oh yeah.
He composed
creepy-
in Nuke. It's
Yeah.
like an image, but it's like what can I say? I don't know if you guys know Trevor Anderson's sketch. He created these awesome characters like Siren Head and other famous
Mhm.
characters.
monsters.
Monsters, yes. And we and I got based on that. Basically, I was looking at the photos of abandoned places we were exploring because we also like doing that. I liked some years ago, and then I just started to draw a monster in the photo. My brother looked at it. It's good, but it's not perfect or something like that. He took it to Nuke, and it's really
well-
Show us.
I'm looking for it.
in the photos. I don't know if you have it there.
Do you have the final versions here? Or?
I think I have. You want to
Okay.
give me? Okay. But talk about it while I search for it.
It's so this was mostly cell phone pictures and
Mhm.
very compressed, very low quality
Yes.
images. So what I did, I had this idea that I took his clean drawing, and to make it more dirty and believable,
Mhm.
I exported a low quality JPEG of that drawing and then kept the original alpha, and it just sold much more the effect of compression and
Mhm.
the artifacts, and made it blend a lot
That
more.
that's a classic. That's a classic
Yes.
solution for this. Like when you're trying to comp something that comes, I don't know, sometimes with a GoPro or
Yes.
whatever,
Yes.
you need to get those artifacts down. So this is one way.
There's a
You just save it and render it at a lower res, and then boom.
because I really couldn't find a way that was as efficient. I mean, there's a lot of complexion. It's very complex. These artifacts from compression and
It's difficult to
I
didn't-
replicate.
I didn't find yet the drawings yet, but I found this. If you want to know
Oh,
how the tarantula looks like now,
Oh,
it's
look at
basically like this.
Beautiful.
Yes, it's all black. So
But
back to
do
it.
you have the final images in there?
I think I do. I think I do. But yes, here's one. But this one you can't see almost anything. and
Have you ever
it's-
used the film footage?
It's like
no,
it's
no.
it's like this. Something very
I mean,
simple.
I took photos with an analog camera, and I didn't develop it, but I digitized it, and it's I don't know, man. I wish
It's beautiful.
it's beautiful. It's so
The grain.
organic. It's
I have a film camera here, an 8mm
Wow.
Canon. This is like
Amazing.
this is before you guys were born.
Certainly.
my cousin found this, and I still have, I don't know, footage from my dad recorded on that 8mm.
Wow.
But
That's
film is amazing. You can hide everything in film because of the grain. It's so strong,
yes.
and everything becomes so believable. The problem with these new digital cameras is that everything is sharp and
too
it's
perfect almost.
too perfect.
I mean, footage from Alexa is. I mean, it's
It's
just
insane.
too clean.
too sharp, too
Yeah.
clean. That's why when you see CG and it goes straight into integration with film, it looks so much better.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it looks perfect. I was talking about that with my brother about Jurassic Park. They got
Because they did the CG and then they printed out the
And,
the
it
shots
was-
as
it was
as a film
perfect.
strip,
it was
and it's
was
and the
amazing.
color just blends so
Yeah.
well. It's
Yes.
crazy, man. I don't know. It's like it has perfect match tone mapping. I guess
yes.
it's blend. That's why it looks so good.
And they used to have like a crazy dynamic range. The reason that they were using it was all about dynamic range and the feeling of that. But now all these digital cameras, they have
They
an
already
even
yes.
greater dynamic range. Like they can get light out of nothing.
Digital is very good for low light and stuff like that.
Oh.
It's very clean.
That one
Yeah.
is difficult. That one struggles when the Ursamini 4K starts to struggle when it gets to low light. But
But you got cameras like the Sony A7S, and that looks.
Oh,
I've used
man.
one, the A7S II. Now that the 3 is out, and I mean that was it was looking. The night sky was looking better than my eyes were seeing, than what my eyes were
That's
seeing.
amazing. That's
more
amazing,
artistic.
really.
Yeah,
They're looking more artistic than your eyes were looking.
than real life. That's
It's,
that's insane.
You
really.
ever realize, like, sometimes we're looking at the sky and we're like, oh, that looks Photoshop.
Yeah.
Some things in real life look
Some
look
people-
Photoshop.
Yeah, some
They
people say
look-
like, oh, that's
That's
too Photoshop.
yes.
Sometimes you look at the sky and it's like, wow, that looks fake.
yeah.
I mean, if you have a perfectly
Yes.
clear sky, it looks kind of fake, I guess. Because
Yes.
we living in the city, we get used to a lot of light pollution.
we don't live quite in the city.
Yeah, but we get used to light pollution and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yes.
And once we go to a rural area, you can see everything, and
Yeah.
it almost looks fake. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, the sky.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I was telling you the other day the planetarium. It's like almost like that, but
Crazy.
It's almost like
real.
the planetarium. Yeah, you
But-
can see nebulas and
yes.
a lot
It's
of
amazing.
stars.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yes, I remember one visual effects shot you did for a film we were doing.
Yeah.
You did shooting stars on in the sky.
Yes.
The sky was like we were in this rural area. We even added the fire. It was
Mm.
amazing. And then the sky, I remember, that's too perfect. The sky doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
It's too perfect.
Sometimes you want things to look pretty, but personally, I prefer
The
for them to
realistic.
look realistic.
Yes. Sometimes even if you are looking at a shot and you don't see, and you almost don't see what's happening, but it's there.
Yeah.
But it's there. Sometimes it's better.
Kyle Jefferson, 1, 2, 3. Mustaches. I worked with Kyle back in Malaysia.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are like what 2 hours and a half, and there's still 11 people watching us. Insanity, man.
There's another thing about mustaches. I don't know if my brother wants me to talk about it.
Talk about it.
Talk about it. No, let's talk about it.
Bring it.
This one, it's like the show reel nobody will ever see.
So a lot
because
yeah.
it's like we had the actors of the film. We had the King Louis of Portugal. He had like this crazy big mustaches, blonde and all. So where are we going to find an actor that's exactly like this? We didn't have
with a naturally grown mustache. It's not possible.
Like impossible. Yeah. It's like yes. So we went with the actor that had made Don Carlos.
Yes. In
Yes,
another show.
Carlos of Portugal. Now he was
Playing the
portraying
father.
the father.
Yes.
And he had like this big mustache. I mean, it didn't look bad, but when we were seeing the film, it looked like the mustache is too perfect. So
So you could see some parts were like gluing off, and we shot everything at 4K, and even the final output is 4K,
yes.
and we were like, we could touch this.
So my brother, I was like, it was a normal day. My brother did. He sends me a screenshot of Pedro Wallenstein, the actor. See, can you touch this up? And then okay, I'll see what I can do, because for the posters, I don't know. I think you have the images if you want to put the posters.
There's also the trailer. I don't know if there's a shot in the trailer.
No, the posters are perfect for what I'm talking about, because I redid all the beards. It's not that one, it's the other poster. It's around there somewhere. Yes, that
right
one.
here.
Basically,
This has a lot of CGI. Even the gun is completely fake.
yeah, the gun is completely CGI. We had a real gun, but my brother went like, this is not a cool enough gun.
We already know that was just for reference. I then downloaded a
Yes,
3D
yes.
model and just replaced it.
That's nice.
Yes.
That's nice.
So basically, what we had to do for the entirety of the shots where the actors were with these mustaches, I had like to put pieces of skin to make it look more organic underneath the mustache.
Clone stamp.
A little clone stamp, but more like painting. It was very much digital painting. It was almost, I had to erase the entire mustache and then rebuild the mustache from beginning. And my brother with the tracking and all the facial expressions, it was insane. It was probably
sometimes motion vectors,
sometimes more probably harder
Mocha
than the
Pro.
dinosaur.
Wow.
Yes. But
No, that was the real challenge.
yes, that was the real
You
challenge,
know-
because
I did Justice League, and the guy that was behind me was
Oh.
doing the famous shot.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, this is gonna be good.
And
Oh,
I was
Henrique,
looking, I was like, oh, dude, why,
amazing.
why?
That's amazing.
But yeah, it had to, because
They didn't have much time as well.
No.
Yes.
I saw that, and to be honest, I felt it would be
So
almost impossible.
You saw the original plate with the.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I really
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
see.
I saw it, and it looked crazy. And the work was too difficult. To be honest, that is the moment. But again, the guy was growing a mustache, so there's not
Yes,
much. There's not much you can do.
I think he had a beard also, light beard for the movie, or
But
just a
it
mustache.
just-
I
it
think it was
couldn't-
just a mustache.
It couldn't
okay.
cut. It couldn't cut. So that
It couldn't cut, yeah, because he was already shooting.
Yes.
This was a reshoot.
Yes.
And then it looked like they had to do like a CG face, but they wanted to keep most of the actor's performance
of
from
course,
the
of course.
from the from
So
the
so
footage.
how they did that? They did it to 2D.
combination.
Oh,
combination of a CG face
That has to be
with,
really hard.
with
really
references from the previous shot and other shots. It was too complex. It was complex, but yeah, the execution was not amazing. The execution was
it
not
was like
amazing, but it was
yes.
it was too difficult. It was too difficult.
It was
Yes.
too difficult.
It was like reverse of what we were trying. We were trying to implement the mustaches.
yeah,
and you know that sometimes, like I saw, because we had several plates for reference. Sometimes we were looking, the angle didn't help. Sometimes we were looking at another angle from a
Yes.
different take, and we're like, oh yeah, that looks fake, and we're like, no, but this one is real. this one is
Oh.
real.
Your mind
So-
was playing tricks.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like we were so used to that, and the angle was
That
really
happens,
weird.
yeah.
Like the expression he had on his face was really
Was
really weird.
Yes.
So at some point we were like, that looks fake. It's like, oh, yeah, but that is footage. That was shot. It's like, oh, yeah, that looks bad then. That just looks, the guy looks ugly. it looked weird. Like the expression
Yes.
that he was doing didn't help selling that. But then yeah, the execution of that was difficult.
Yes, that must have been really crazy.
It looked creepy.
Yes.
Oh man. Anyway,
I believe
there is a subject that I would like to touch that we've avoided until now, but I wanted to, as a matter of respect,
Yeah.
to mention this. That is the late Pedro Lima. That was the main actor from your movie, and yeah, he left us too soon.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. How was to work with such a great actor in your movie? It was like, that was big, man. That was
He was
He was-
genuinely a great person. I mean, we told him, I think was through Instagram or Facebook,
Facebook.
and
yes.
he responded quite
Right away.
fast.
Right away. Responded right away
He was very very excited to do this, and
to be a part of the
e-
project.
even
yes.
after the film released, he was very excited for future works that, of course, we were already developing.
Yes.
But
really cool.
yeah.
Really cool.
But sadly, everything was cut short and leaving us kind of in this existential limbo. We
Yeah.
don't really know what to do next.
Yeah.
But we think we'll kind of avoid Congo films for the next few projects, and just create something from scratch, even if it's something that we have already started developing. I don't know. It's very hard. It will be very
Yes.
hard to.
it was.
to-
it
It's hard to
was-
replace, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's,
we
I
can't
would
strong
say-
we can't even
performance.
think about it. I mean,
It's
it's kinda-
it's unreplaceable.
it's kind of
completely.
like a band losing the main guy. I think you can't find the person that's the same person, because that's not even the goal, because
Yes.
that doesn't even exist. Each person is different, and Pedro was very special.
Oh man, and the character in the
Yeah.
in the comic is like, it's
Yes.
it's him.
He
It's-
actually thought I illustrated the character based
Based on him.
on him, but actually it didn't was like that.
Yeah.
So it was a big surprise when we really had found the perfect match for
Perfect
our
cast.
Major Ferreira, and we
man,
were all
it's-
happy. He was happy. We were happy. It was amazing. It was great times. The shooting in Mata da Machada was probably the best day of our lives. It was really amazing. Very stressful.
Oh, it's so
very
good.
stressful. But the Congo second edition arrived in that morning.
Yes,
And
the
then
same day
we
of
had
the shoot.
we had all the actors. We had Miguel, we had Raul, we had Pedro in our house, and then here comes a big truck with a lot of books, and
Wow.
and there's just 1 hour to go to the place to shoot, and we have to put this in the garage, and it was crazy. It was a bit stressful, but it was incredible. It was amazing. really.
Those were amazing days.
He is one of the best persons I have ever known.
A really great professional. I mean,
It feels
he,
like
he embodied the character.
even not knowing him personally, it feels like each time I saw him like backstage of stuff that he's doing and even on TV, looked like a super super nice guy, man.
When we met uh, uh, after we filmed. We met on various circumstances, whether it was when we were seeing his shows live, or simply by
Once he was doing a talk and we
Yes,
stopped by.
yes,
He
yes.
didn't even expect us, but
yes,
we
it
can-
was
yeah.
it was amazing. I will never forget. He had like more than 20 people to talk, and he
Talk.
came talk to
And he
me,
came talk to you.
grabbed me by the arm, and just asked how's the film going, like with a
Oh,
big
man.
smile on his face. I'll never forget that
it
moment.
still feels surreal.
I wake up every day, and I still can't believe, because he was helping us in every way, growing as in the project and growing as people. So it was really a great loss.
Left us too soon, and
Yes.
and this is good to remember, and to that we're living in strange days, right? With this pandemic.
Yes.
We don't know where this is going. We hope that everything is going to be fine, but we don't know if things are going to go back to normal. What we consider
What
the
will be the
old
new
normal.
normal? Yes.
Yeah, the new normal is going to be definitely different,
Yes.
and especially people that suffer from a mental disease and need help. This is a wake up call. It's what I believe
Really?
is when you see these moments. I had like a few years ago. This is why I started my record collection, vinyl. When Chester Bennington from
Oh,
Yes,
Linkin
yes.
Park.
we
There
were
it
our
is.
favorite
Oh
band.
man, me too,
Yes.
me too. So
It
that
was
for me, that for me was a very personal thing, very
Yes,
personal moment.
for us too.
And
Still listen to Linkin Park almost every day.
oh man, it's
Yes.
it's insane. And this is a good wake up call for people to search for help, and for the others to try to catch any kind of indication, symptoms,
Yes.
anything that we can do to help people that need some
Because
help.
sometimes we
Very silent.
There's
we
no
look-
shame in
Yes,
asking
no
for
shame.
help.
Sometimes we outsiders tend to look at these people and think they have the perfect life. They're celebrities.
Yeah.
They have the perfect
Yeah.
life. That's not how it goes. They're people. So it's they have problems. Each one of us has problems.
Yeah.
And has dealt with some kind of bad situation at least once. So we can never judge, and we can only help those who
Absolutely,
need,
absolutely.
and don't maybe we think they don't need, but right next door can be a person who's really needing
Yeah.
that helping hand. So we gotta look out for each other, basically.
And today it's a celebrity, and tomorrow can be a friend, can be a family.
Of course.
And
yes,
This just creates visibility to the problem, and I think it's
And it's very real. Yes.
yeah, it's a real issue.
yes,
So yeah,
very real.
shout out to his family,
Yes.
and to everybody that needs help. And it's this time is not helping, definitely not helping with the situation. So if you need help, search for a friend. Just ask, and don't feel shy. Because there's always a friend around that can relate to that. And remember these situations where we see good people that are famous,
Yes.
that happen to be famous, but they probably would decide not to. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it's a real issue, and everyone needs to be aware of that.
yeah,
I think. So
tough.
yes,
Tough subject to end our
Yeah.
conversation,
Yes.
but I felt there was important one.
Yes.
After we
Yeah,
laughed so
yes.
much, at least we needed to get this moment as a tribute to him, because we helped you guys. It was a
Yes.
face of your movie as well,
Yes.
and it would be probably the face of your following projects.
course.
All right, tell me one thing. How and where can we get your comic book, and when is your the short film debuting?
All right. So the comic book, if you live in Portugal, you can get it pretty much anywhere. We also have our website, which is shipping internationally, but
Uh-huh.
only the original Portuguese version, because we haven't printed an English version. We're waiting for more demand and
You have a
support.
digital version.
We have a
Yes,
digital version of an English
Cool.
the English book. So yeah, you can get the digital books at Google Play or Comixology.
Comixology.
It's part of Amazon. And if you want to buy the physical copies, you can get it in major Portuguese retailers, and also our website congobd.bigcartel.com.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Cool.
If
You can drop it in the comments as well.
I'll drop it. I'll
yes.
drop it later.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Drop it now.
Drop it.
Yeah. Yeah, or else you'll forget.
You'll forget. Is that?
What about the short movie?
The movie.
I think I saw it. I think I was fortunate that you guys
I sent it to you.
you guys
Yes,
show me
yes,
showed me the
yes.
movie, man.
We
that
sent
was
you.
that was brilliant, man.
So-
I loved it.
Thank
You so much for the trust, because I know it's how it works. Like you can't make it public because it needs to go to the circuit of festivals. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
there's very specific rules for that, right?
So right now, I don't really know what to do with the movie, but I know that I'm gonna release it later this year. But a lot of the events where I was going to screen the movie were cancelled
because of the
pandemic. I
We
was
had,
supposed to have 3 dates just in
April there were 2
and
dates,
June,
yes.
and who knows what more events would come. But right now it's a very tough time, and there are no events on the horizon. So honestly, I want to get this work out there in a way as soon as possible.
Because nobody saw it.
I feel like
basically,
the movie is done almost a year ago. So
yes, people need to see it.
Yeah.
I think people need
Yeah.
to see it, and it now carries, unfortunately, another weight with the protagonist having
away.
passed.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely want to dedicate the movie to his memory and the next book,
Of
and
course.
definitely want people to see it. And yeah, right now I'm just kind of thinking about it.
We
how
are-
how,
we
how
are-
I'm going to do it.
Yes, we are actually starting to work on the third
volume?
Yes,
Third volume,
and
yes.
probably last. I would say last volume, because it will be bigger than the previous volumes, and it will be entirely different story. Of course, it will have the characters, the same characters, but will be a different story, and will be the entire book will be also a tribute, an homage to his memory, as well as the film. I just wanted to leave that.
Cool.
Yes.
So still no dates yet.
No date.
For
I'm
releasing.
thinking about, I don't know, or 1st of November, because it's the 1
Or
year.
or 5 of
Yeah,
of
but-
December.
December. Yes. So 1st of November would be the anniversary of the premiere, and the 5th of December would be the date, or I mean
The third anniversary of
anniversary of the first launched Congo.
Yes.
Awesome.
So one of those dates. I'm not.
Looks
I'm
good.
Not sure.
Looks good.
Yes.
Yes.
Man, that's amazing. I wish you all the best, and I think I wanted to. I brought on the first episode of this series. Bye bye, Amar. I brought this guy, which is the new generation of visual effects artists, and I wanted to bring you guys on the second episode, because I believe that it's the new generation, the younger generation, that is going to bring this to another level. And this is why I teach. This is why I have um, a weird pleasure in teaching the next generation. And yeah, don't forget that the course, my advanced compositing series, got delayed to October. So it's starting on October 12th because of this pandemic, and this is uncertain times. But I believe that this date is set in stone. So yeah, you're still on time to subscribe to the course. Remember that because of this pandemic as well, I'm opening this time the course for Zoom calls. So I'm going to be teaching in class and also using Zoom if people want to be in a different part of the country, or if people prefer to stay at home. This is unprecedented. I usually don't do that. I either do it online, a completely live stream, or I do it in class. I usually don't mix together.
Yes.
But this time I'm opening up the exception to this. And there is also more news coming probably on the next episode. I'll unveil what I'm preparing in terms of teaching as well. But yeah, I think that's it. Drop your links and your pages and stuff.
But I'll drop the Instagram and Facebook as well, because that's where we post much.
Absolutely.
Most
Drop everything in there.
The
And
Instagram is where.
if you guys have any questions, we still have 9 people, man. This has been constant, like for 3 hours
Nice.
almost that we are here.
Nice.
And there's always a lot of people. If you guys have any questions for our guests, let us know. Contact them, follow, like, everything. That's subscribe. I don't know if you have YouTube as well.
Yes.
Yes.
We have
Subscribe.
Mudneg.
Please do all of that. And yeah, if you enjoy and if you carry on enjoying our talks, let us know. The feedback has been really positive, and
Yes.
I'm gonna carry on doing this. Because I like to receive people here, good people. All right, thank you so much for coming here. It was a pleasure. Pedro, bye bye. Pedro Andrade is speaking, bye bye. Don't forget to watch Complayer as well. And yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Good luck for your future. And yeah, anything, let me know.
All right.
All
Cool.
right. Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us here.
No problem.
Yes.
Bye bye. See you guys.
See
Bye
ya.
bye.